Welcome back to the ECS Season 8 Finals, where we are just about to get into our final best of 3 of the day. And it's going to be a good one, guys, isn't it? It's a Scandinavian derby. We've got Fnatic going up against Astralis. Gentlemen, I can see you're very excited. You're getting out the Swedish kind of props that we've got. Are we siding with somebody?
This is the liquid horse. This is the liquid horse.
Okay.
And this is a sign that Fnatic is going to win. So, like, this is the finals of the event.
Oh.
You predicted it without even knowing it.
I like this prediction.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. I don't have to do anything more. Now I just keep quiet and show this off. I'm like,
Yeah, you can pop
here
off
you
now,
go,
Chris.
here
You
you
just
go.
brought these toys to say
So
everything.
I'm done, right? No.
Well, yeah, we're incredibly excited to be getting into this final matchup of the day. And it's going to be a big one, isn't it? Because it's Fnatic going up against world #1's Astralis. But Fnatic are currently in 3rd place in the HLTV rankings, which is pretty exciting to see these two going head-to-head.
Yeah, especially, I mean, #1, #3 go against each other. And, you know, ending the beautiful first day of ECS finals with, you know, those two teams. It's just beautiful, especially for me since I'm a Swede and from Scandinavia. So I can enjoy, in a way, the best CS.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy and excited for it. And I don't know, I'm very unsure about the maps though. That's my mysterious problem right now. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to have as maps, but I don't know. I have no idea what to pick and what they will actually pick.
Yeah, I have no idea where the maps are going to go, but what excites me about this best of 3 is the stylistic differences, right? Astralis being that utility-heavy team, and Fnatic is, you know, that team that's going to take individual fights. They're going to try to get into 4-on-4s, 3-on-3s, and that's where they shine. I think Golden makes incredible reads. Whenever I watch him play Inferno, I'm always impressed by his ability to choose the right site to hit. If a site is stacked, he seems to always call to go to the other site. So that is, you know, the differences between these teams are night and day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're going to bring up our head-to-heads, where we're going to be featuring Golden and, of course, the in-game leader from Astralis, Glaive, which is a very nice comparison, I think. Obviously, Golden in his lovely Hello Kitty X-Fnatic jersey. I'm really, really enjoying those. But yeah, obviously comparing our two in-game leaders from each side. As you can see, Fnatic have actually been playing more games in the past few months than Astralis.
That's true. But one pretty cool thing that happened not too long ago when the Astralis were winning in IEM Beijing was that Glaive was actually MVP of the tournament. And usually people are not predicting the in-game leaders to be becoming MVPs anymore or that often. But that was a very impressive, and I was very on those games I was looking at, I was very impressed how he played the tournament, throughout the whole tournament. And I mean, I don't think anyone would really guess it would be him, because they always go for Device, maybe Dupree or Magus now, since he's been playing so well the whole year. So I was very happy to see that. And I mean, especially when I heard that he has been a little bit annoyed with himself recently. So seeing them, him specifically, getting the MVP there and performing super well, I was really happy for him.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that Glaive finally got that MVP, right? You typically think of Glaive and you don't think of monster numbers as far as frags, but he's always putting in chip damage, getting spam damage through smoke, if not frags, and then nade damage every single round. So to see him actually follow through with frags, so much so that he gets an MVP of a Tier 1 event, that's really cool.
Well, we've been saying we're very unsure the way the map feature is going to be going, and we're going to be delving into it right now. I know you've been saying there's a little bit of uncertainty surrounding this, but what are you expecting? What do you think is going to be the
vetoes?
path?
The vetoes are the one thing you can expect.
I mean, I wrote down Nuke Inferno does 2. Maybe a training there. That's what I threw in, but...
Oh, they left Vertigo in. Astralis might pick Vertigo here.
Oh.
Ooh.
I cannot believe Fnatic didn't veto Vertigo.
No,
Oh, they
so it's
did
big
not
nuke,
pick-
okay, so Nuke.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
This is very different to what we were anticipating.
I did not think Fnatic would float Vertigo like this, and if they did, I thought Astralis would certainly pick it.
I mean, now Fnatic must be banning Vertigo.
I would imagine so.
Wait.
Oh my goodness. They must be
Wait.
very, very confident in this new Vertigo.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Fnatic play Vertigo.
I don't know if they have actually one official game on it.
I think Astralis might think this is a bait and that Fnatic is really good. But, I mean, Astralis doesn't even have footage on this new Vertigo, so are they willing to go into the unknown?
They are. They are indeed. Wow. Okay. This went completely the opposite way to what we were anticipating. I'm interested in that nuke pick as well, because last time, obviously at Dream Malmo, that's where Fnatic beat them on nuke. It was an incredibly close overtime win, but still, it's a some bold picks coming out of that side, very unexpected.
Yeah, especially because I heard that like Astralis and Sonic were complaining the other day because they made like a updated one to Vertigo. So I heard them like because of the operation they made like a lot of changes again.
Yeah.
And I saw that apparently he tweeted out, you know, it's kind of annoying, you know, doing new strats and all that kind of stuff on the map when they just updated one. So he was a little bit not angry but a little bit frustrated, I guess, on Twitter. So it's kind of like I know that they're at least up to date. They always want to play that one, or like at least being practice ready for it at least.
Yeah, as pro teams, you always want to be ahead of the meta, right? You always want to practice the new map and try to find the edges and vetoes. So when a map like Vertigo gets added to the pool, you want to practice, practice, practice. But then when the devs change it, you're screwed. You're behind again, and you no longer even have that map in the map pool because it's a totally new map. And that's what Zonic is probably a little bit frustrated about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm really excited to be getting into this, but obviously Vertigo is the third map. Are we thinking it's going to go all that way?
Well, like last time Fnatic and Astralis played like in Masters, they went to like 4 overtimes and Fnatic squeezed out the Nuke win and won 2-0 in maps, like in the semifinals. But I'm not really sure. Like Fnatic is a team that like I know they're trying to play it more and more, but I'm not really like, you know, really cement and being like, okay, they're gonna win this map, like no matter who they're playing against. But I like that at least they're doing it and like forcing it in, or like not force it, but maybe training them to become much better with it. So I'm happy, and I was like, I was 99% sure they would pick it. At least it's gonna happen in this matchup, but I wasn't sure it's gonna happen directly. That was my like,
I think the vetoes are interesting because if you told me these were the maps in like 2018, obviously not Vertigo is a third map, I would say there's 0 chance Astralis loses on Nuke and Inferno. But in today's day and age, they look vulnerable on these maps, so who knows where this could go.
Who knows, indeed. And if you guys are watching on Twitch at home, make sure you subscribe to Face It TV to get access to our premium pass. You'll be able to watch all 10 of the player POVs, access to exclusive stats, and the clapping feature, of course, to cheer on your favourite player, which more easy claps over here. Which is obviously great supporting your favourite team going forward. But I think it's time now to get into our predictions. We're just going to be doing them per map now. So coming to this first map, Nuke, what are you guys kind of thinking?
Swedish flag.
Swedish?
Yeah.
Fnatic?
Yep.
All the way?
Nah, I'm going Astralis.
Okay.
I think they're too strong strategically. I think I like how Glaive plays the connector area, the secret area.
Yeah.
I don't think Fnatic's going to be prepared for that.
Well, let's check in with our casters as well and see exactly what they're thinking for their first match-up. Henry, Alex, what are you thinking over there?
Same old Sean, go for the easy pick there,
Always.
just keeping it safe, you know. Love to see it.
Yeah, and I love the horse, by the way, Chris.
Yeah, what is the horse about? We missed that segment. What was going on there?
It's a Swedish horse.
Swedish horse?
Yeah, Dalahest.
Dollarhurst.
Yeah, I think it's made of licorice, and they dance around it in the snow.
Amazing.
Wait, what? No. I need to maybe keep it here so you don't see it anymore if you're going to say like that. You know, we have to take care of our little babies.
Yeah,
know,
okay,
but,
respect.
Well, I take care of this little baby here, and we're about to give you... Oh, that's quite cute, actually.
Thank you. I don't know where the hand was going.
We're going to give you some thoughts on this game coming up as it kick things off on Nuke, I believe. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
going to be an
what's so
interesting
crazy.
one. Astralis looking like in red-hot form right now. They had a difficult, turbulent few months, but after Beijing, they looked fantastic.
What
right?
Chris said as well, though, he's right. Fnatic have been playing a lot more of Nuke. Like, it seems to be, it was their primary pick at the Pro League I was at, like 2 weeks ago. So there's clearly a love for it. The fact they're picking against Astralis only reaffirms that. I'm going Sweden. Let's go, Chris.
You're going Sweden.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stay Denmark. The fact we got Nuke and Inferno coming up, that's the home turf of these boys. We're going 2-0 again. Lock it in right now. I'm never wrong, so we'll leave you with that.
Well, we've got some very split predictions over here. I'm going to carry that on, and I'm going to go with Astralis as well, I think. I just think they're looking... It does. See, that's the main reason I do that, Alex.
Yeah,
Trust me. We're going to be checking in back with you very, very shortly when we get into our matchup. But I think it's time to have a look at our fan predictions from Pinnacle as well. I mean, both of these guys, huge fan bases, big history behind them. I think it's going to be sliding a little bit more with Astralis for this first matchup, just because of the history of Nuke. But, of course, you kind of alluded to it, Sean. This time last year, you'd have no qualms about picking Astralis for this Nuke, right?
I still think the fans are going to side with Astralis. I think Pinnacle is going to be favored towards Astralis when we see these odds come up on the screen. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, exactly. Incredibly close. Very
That's
close.
actually closer than I thought.
Yeah. And of course, we'll be checking in with our Pinnacle odds for the markets as well to see what you guys have been betting on at home. Let's take a look at those bad boys. I'm thinking it's going to be Astralis as well. Because this is obviously based on the maps as well. This isn't based for the whole series. So yeah, I think it's going to be siding with Astralis. But I'm interested to see if it does go all the way to a third, because I would love to see Astralis on this new Vertigo. I would absolutely love to see it.
I don't know. How do you feel about Astralis like on these quirky maps like Vertigo? Obviously, they did it with Nuke when you were playing with NIP. I mean, you experienced their Vertigo. Is it when you
I haven't played them on Vertigo.
on the old Vertigo? You never
No,
played.
I never.
Because
No,
NIP didn't play it.
No, I think they did it after I quit the team.
Yeah.
So I have no experience like official game of Vertigo.
Yeah, I wonder what it feels like playing them on a new map. Like you're probably experiencing like a lot of new utility. And that's where I would fear for Fnatic if it gets to that third map.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to get to a third map, gentlemen? Well, obviously you do, because Swedish. Oh,
Why
do you think it's going to be a 2-0 for Fnatic?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to tune into the next segment to find out Chris's opinions. What about you, Sean? Do you think we're going to be going all the way to a third?
I might save that opinion, but I don't know. I'm not siding with Chris. I'll say that.
Well, either of these teams that make it through, they're going to be heading to our semi-finals on Saturday, which I think super exciting. We're going to be getting a guaranteed 2 of the top 4 teams. Looking into tomorrow's matchups, I know we've seen a few of the games coming out. Is there any teams that you're particularly looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
I think I want to see if NIP can bounce back after today.
Yeah.
What we saw at Liquid was, that was the best Liquid we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think the NIP we saw today was as bad as what that scoreline showed.
No. I know they have more to give as well. So I'm expecting a lot better results tomorrow, and I'm almost going away. I think they're gonna clinch one of the playoff spots there. That's what I'm saying.
To the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean they've taken a longer route to get there. But
Yeah, why not? This makes the story even more beautiful, right?
Exactly. Well, I think I'm particularly excited to see. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but Sharks, man, like it was very exciting seeing them almost taking down Astralis. I think they're gonna be.
They should have won that game.
They should have.
Yeah.
They should have. There was so many close moments. But yeah, I think it's really hard to call who's going to be our top 4 for this event and who's going to be lifting the trophy as well. Because obviously this time last year it was Astralis. They won 2 ECSs in a row at that point, and we were hyping them up for a third back in season 7. So I'm wondering whether they're going to be lifting that trophy up there.
Feels like they didn't lose for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Chris at the start of Go.
Well, we're going to see if they're going to carry on that winning streak as we head over to our casters for our last game of the day.
Thank you very much, Freya. Yes, Machine here, joined by Henry G, and we have got. I mean, I said it before. Liquid EG, we have got a star-studded game ahead of us.
Yeah.
No different here for Astralis Fnatic. I've got high expectations.
I just don't like the map all that much. I know Fnatic have been grinding this map, but it feels like this is Astralis' home turf. You're going in, and the fact is the way they kick things off as well. Sure, Astralis didn't look their best day against Sharks. It was a very close game, went to overtime, but they're still a clinical team. They're so difficult to topple. Fnatic, they need to turn up in buckets of space today to stand a chance.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the fact that this is a map that they've clearly been refining, Golden been making, obviously clear developments for this team, and it does look good. From the recent Fnatic nukes I've seen, especially on their T side, you apply the Fnatic, let me think of it, the best Berserker Counter-Strike that they're capable of. This map is some of those the quick plays they've been making, taking early ramp room on the T side. They were not afraid of doing topside takes against the Molotovs and all of the pre-fires. They were still doing it and getting away with it. So there is something to be looking forward to definitely in this affair.
Well, they need to be aware of Glaive's presence on this map. He is an absolute master on the T side, especially. He'll be outside, he'll be down the vents, he'll be causing chaos wherever he goes. That's one thing you need to keep on top of.
Yeah, and outside as well. Speaking of Glaive, immediately my mind goes to playing around the outside smoke. If you're going silo early, you better watch out for Glaive. Don't poke your head out too high, because there will be some outside aggressions from their CT side on Nuke. And there's been a lot more of that, actually, as this meta in Nuke, given Vertigo's introduction into the injection into the map pool, we've been seeing a lot more on Nuke, and it doesn't seem as stale as it used to.
It certainly doesn't. Before, we were just running the same outside smokes time and time again, but it seems like the lower bomb site has a lot more structure to it now. It feels like that's a main objective to get that bomb planted, especially down the vents towards ramp room. It seems there's a few more options on the T side now. The smokes will go down regardless. They'll be put down every single round to take vision away from the CTs, but whether they'll be used is another question altogether.
When you say smokes, are you referring to like kind of main as well as the vent dive smoke? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the outside smokes in general, because you're
me,
trying to take vision away from the CT, so they have to rotate someone down lower, right? You'll see those pretty much every round, but Astralis are so good at kind of sowing the seeds of doubt. It's Glaive down there, our 4 people down there. You have to react, and Nuke's very difficult to reclaim territory on. It's all about getting down towards lower. That's where Astralis will be focusing most of their efforts, where they put most of their bomb plants down. If the bomb is planted, 85% of the time they'll be winning that round. So you need to be very careful, have players rotating down down towards lower and making sure you have crossfires and you're reading the plays well, but it's such a difficult map to play against them. Have they done the knife run yet, Alex?
That is a very good question. I think they're still running around in spawn, so that suggests to me we get knife, which is going to be a very important one.
It's a very big one, yeah. Considering this is the pick of Astralis, the fact they could even start on the CT side would be great, but their T side's been phenomenal recently. They've been posting double digits sometimes on their T side. It's looking absolutely undaunted. We'll see whether they can keep that up as we start to sit down.
Yes, they take to their seats, which does mean we are moments away from finding out how Astralis Fnatic starts off. Of course, at the knife round, I imagine we'll be seeing first of all. Crim's on your screens. We didn't get to see him over in his most recent battle with Fnatic, of course, due to illness, and they actually chose to drop an additional event up until this one here in Arlington, so they could come in prepared, and of course with Crim's back at full health, which is absolutely a priority to end the year. There is a flurry of events coming, and that you want to make sure your consistent star is at full health.
He is one of the pinnacle members of the Fnatic lineup,
Yes,
but
no
speaking of which, the favorite player from Fnatic right now for me is Brolan. I feel like they've put so much weight on his shoulders in terms of like responsibility, but he's thriving in that environment. He is becoming a star player at such a young age as well, one of the most talented players in all of Sweden, but he is a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes he'll have this mammoth performances, sometimes he'll be quite quiet and shut down. If he gets a Krieg in his hand, he gets rolling, he can be the shining star that keeps him in these games, and he's going to have to come online fully to stand a chance against Astralis.
Yeah, and I mean, what's so great as well is that, you know, if any Kriegs are saved and brought over early for the CT side, there is only one candidate. There really is only one candidate. Same could be said for the T side, to be honest, given the fact that a lot of Fnatics do still have their preference leaning in the direction of the AK, and I think the patch recently adding the price tag to the Krieg, that's only going to enhance things.
Yeah, I believe he plays Ramprum on CT side as well, so if you get the Krieg on the CT side and Ramprum, that's amazing. It means you can actually challenge for Jewels at the start, you can go for the one-tap headshots and have the benefit of the scope as well. It's such a valuable weapon to get towards the back of that area, but knife round looking to go underway momentarily. In terms of predictions, you've already said, what, Astralis going to take this?
Well, we're doing it on a map-by-map basis.
Map-by-map basis.
I called Fnatic's nuke.
I just went 2-0 straight up. I just said, you know what? This Inferno, this nuke, it's going to be Astralis. They've got this.
And understandably so, because it does seem like Astralis are having that classic Astralis play of, you kind of forget about them because they don't touch to a tournament, maybe a couple of slow performances, then they just win the major again, another star on the jersey, and it does seem like it's been nothing but an incline since then. The Danes looking to reclaim and maintain that #1 title and tag coming into the next year.
Yeah, Glaive as well. The fact he got MVP at the last big tournament, right? The fact in Beijing, that was his first MVP of his entire career. He came into that tournament saying, I have never really felt this weak. I haven't really felt like I've dropped off this much in a while. I'm not the same player I was in 2018. He pulls up those stops in Beijing and actually looks like a monster. He looks like a god once again. He's such an intelligent player, such a good in-game leader as well. The mid-round calls is what makes Astralis such a good team. Like, even if they find themselves in a precarious situation, he knows what he has to do to get them out of it. They're so good at working together, slowing things right down. 2-on-4s, like, no problem. You've got players like Zipex there to close things out, who seems to be in the clutch every single time they need it. He's able to finish things off, and he did that today as well against Sharks. Looked like they were about to drop out, but of course, it's a Zipex clutch to win things for them, and they managed to stay alive.
Yeah, of course it is. Bloody Zipex. Clutch Minister in action. And of course, on your screens now, Flusher. Recently, I say recently with bated breath, admittedly time is passing rather fast, but his first offline performance was over in DreamHack Masters Malmo. That was about 2 months ago. And of course, they lifted the trophy there as well. So it was quite a return for Flusher, which he genuinely took off. Not talking about grinding, you know, behind the scenes. He's straight up just walked away from the mouse and keyboard for, what was it, like over nearly 3 months.
Yeah, that was a bit of a fairy tale, the whole thing, wasn't it? The fact that how that all transpired just didn't make any sense, but that's what makes Counter-Strike such a beautiful game sometimes. You can never really predict what's going to happen. Sure, you can say the front runner's always got a decent chance of winning it, but on home soil, Flusher coming back for the first time, it was a beautiful thing.
And then JW has shed more light on that. You know, he's not talking too much about the fact that, you know, they immediately had form. He says, yes, not, you know, people weren't expecting us to win Malmo, and neither were we. But when the stars align for this roster, it is reminiscent of the Fnatic of old to an extent. You know, there is this feeling of a plow almost, to cite another previously dominant organization.
Where are they now?
Where is VP at, man?
They're still playing. They still have a team.
They do have a team. I think it's in the tier 3, tier 2 regions. I'm wondering where we're missing. I think we're missing one player. I can see a little screen of the game, and I'm telling you now that that's the update I have. I think it's perhaps a tech issue. We'll let you know when we know.
A small sound issue.
A sound issue.
That's all I can tell you. But
those are usually the pesky ones.
Yeah, something not quite right with the comms or the headset in general. As device in your screen right now, looks like his sound is A-OK. Astralis do have 5 players on ready to go for this knife. This is a best of 3. The final game will bring you today. Astralis, they had a bit of a bumpy start in the tournament. Sure, they won the game, which all that matters, but it did go overtime against a team that's turning a lot of heads right now, and it's the Brazilian-Argentinian mix of Sharks. Who would have thought that would be the team to really test them kicking things off?
Yeah, but these 2 new additions to their roster does seem to have created quite a potent mix, and I think Freya, you know, she's right to have them as her dark horse in their discussions on the desk prior.
Yeah, well, Astralis are one of those teams, you know, they say it themselves. They definitely have slow starts into most tournaments. As long as they get the win, though, that's all that really matters. Like, at this stage of the tournament, it doesn't matter how close the game is, you know. That doesn't contribute to anything. It's just about getting the win, getting to the best of 3. If they win this, they'll be the same position Liquid found themselves in as well, which is like the day off. Manage to stretch your feet out, go ride some roller coasters.
Go for a walk, I guess.
Go for a walk.
Down the highway.
Down the highway, classic walk.
Classic.
We'll be doing that tomorrow if you want to come join us.
Yep, we'll do a highway walk.
And there's JW, the sniper of Fnatic, looking to get ready here. Not really many options for him on Nuke. The AWPers will struggle somewhat to have massive amounts of impact. You normally see them at the start of each round. Some teams do opt for a double AWP setup. You might even see Astralis bring that out from time to time in his best of 3.
Where are you throwing them?
Well, normally you have the outside AWP and you have one towards ramp. Meaning
yeah.
he can actually go down towards lower, down towards secret if required. For me, I don't like it especially, but if a team's really feeling it and they're running away with the game, it's not a bad setup at all, especially if you feel like they haven't got much tactical depth, not reading what you're doing. But as soon as you know the opposition has a double AWP setup, in my opinion, it's pretty easy to shut down. You're just going for upper executions, upper rushes, and just making sure you get the bomb down quickly.
Gosh, yeah.
Exactly. Retaking, especially down towards lower, is such a nightmare. So you're really just focusing towards lower bomb site at that point. What do you think about the new Hello Kitty situation? I got sent one of those. I haven't taken a picture in it yet. It's not the most flattering for me.
Does it not work for you?
I mean, it looks cool, but it's just I feel like I can't put it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's brilliant that we're seeing such huge brands stepping in these like big in-your-face sponsorships. It's just, you know, a sign of the times.
It's one hell of a collab.
Yeah, it's one hell of a collab, and congratulations to Fnatic for pulling it off and pulling it off to the extent they have.
Crimson
Personally, not my cup of tea. I do like Crims is pulling off pink more than JW's pulling off orange.
Yeah.
But that's more of a question of, you know, the design as well. There's a lot of kitties on JW. I think he said, give me the one with the most kitties.
As many cats as you could possibly find on me.
He's a kitty magnet.
He must be. He certainly is, Alex. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be underway momentarily. I can see that we've got 9 players on the server right now. One more for the golden
Feline
number.
good, man. Feline good.
Feline very good.
But, you know, it does, at this point, start to suggest that the tech issue is going to be one of those unpredictable beasts, I'm afraid. So podcast mode might have to be activated. It's a mode that myself and Henry are all too familiar with.
Oh, we've been here many times before.
Yes.
On big stages, isolated.
Can't hear each other sometimes. Curveballs up left and right.
There's been some horror show moments for us in that respect. But this one feels very comfortable indeed. I don't think we'll have a problem filling the dead air at this point. So, Alex, I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. What have you been up to? What have you been doing yourself?
I've been having a good time, actually. I had a week off, no work. I went over to Berlin to have a dance,
Lovely
have a
part of the
boogie.
world.
Yeah, I really like that city, actually.
Did you get inspired from the major? You thought I would have come back here?
I did. I went to. I spent like, what was it? We had 2 weeks there for the minor and then 3 for the major, essentially. So I was there for over a month and ended up kind of falling in love with the city a little bit.
And a lot of other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was my Berlin. How was your... you went to... Was it first time in Florida last week?
Well, I went to Florida for Disneyland when I was like 12 years old. So I don't really think that counts. You know? I don't really think you say, yeah, I've been to Florida. You can't really remember it when you're 31.
No.
But this is the first time I went when I was a man, you know?
Yes.
I felt like I could really experience it. Went to Orlando, went to Tampa. And let me tell you, those guys, they know how to party down there. They know what they're doing. Stunner hosted my trip there, and he really showed me the ropes as what it's all about. Really,
Brilliant.
it is just about partying, it seems. No one else is doing anything but that. But I had a great time. You're in the sun. No one really cares what you're doing. And I would definitely go back. I'd recommend that any time of the year. It was like 30 degrees every day there at this time of year.
Is it not? I heard Florida's quite like a humid nightmare, though, isn't it? Like
it is in the summer. Okay. This time of year, it was fine. I didn't feel particularly sweaty at all, to be honest with you, which is a rare thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was great.
That does sound like a kind of the dream environment. Maybe winter holidays to Florida. We'll go party there.
Well, that's where Stunner lives. So I'm sure he'll take us on board whenever we need it. We are just still waiting for that small technical issue here. It is one player from Fnatic who's just joined.
Oh.
So that could be a twist in the tail. We'll see if we can go live momentarily. We still have the knife round to go down, I believe. In these best of threes, we are knifing.
Yeah.
And these days, I would say, you're obviously going to go CT, but the stats suggest this map's actually equaling out. And there's some instances in some particular matchups you'd actually maybe not prefer to start T side, but it's actually finding more success.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. I've even seen, you know, not only because of the Krieg, but it just seems like teams are starting to have more available for them on their T side. The executes, there's a lot of nades that you can throw through those skylights that people have even found more and added to and refined. And it's time for us to jump in. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your patience. ECS Season 8 Finals live from Arlington, day 1, and our final best of 3. It's time for Astralis, the Danes who have done it all, going up against a very solid new look, not only in jersey, but in form, Fnatic. Time to stab each other. This is, I mean, yeah, the way you highlighted it is normally this would be the most important knife round of the series, and it is going all but one way. Poor Glaive is about to try and, actually, you know what? With 5, no, I can't
go
count.
on.
Maybe here I go. 4 one clicks, 4 right click. Oh, never mind. He got stabbed on the map.
Yeah. He's still fine with 2 stabs.
Yeah,
but
I kind of feel like it's. Oh, he's not
done.
ready for behind it. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, here we go. I'm feeling it. 2, uno, dos, tres. Oh, okay.
That was the most excitement we've had all day, maybe.
There it is.
Wow.
Get that one in slow-mo replay.
There was a chance there. So we're going to have the team huddles, of course, now. Astralis, this one to discuss with their coach, Zonic, who just released a book, actually. I think that's going to be the first CSGO book released, at least.
Yeah.
I think Heaton released one.
There might
about
be
his
one
life.
there.
This
Actually,
is
no,
more,
of course, Red Eye. Red Eye did a book a long time ago as well.
Yes, that was more about the guide to commentary.
Oh, there's more
right?
commentary, esports commentary.
Yeah,
okay.
so this was the first like kind of esports story, like someone who's involved in a top tier team, kind of discussing behind the scenes. But it's only in Danish for now, I believe. But I would like to check that out.
Yeah, no, I read a couple of there was someone went through the book and had it, you know, pulled out some highlights for people on Reddit.
I saw some highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, one was interesting about Glaive's car. Found that one quite.
I didn't
funny.
see that one. What's Glaive's car saying?
Glaive parked his car somewhere, filled in the form wrong, so they towed it. And he just assumed his car was stolen.
He didn't report it to the police.
Yeah, he went.
Oh, dear.
We said, "So we found it here in this this towing lot."
Oh dear. Okay.
Mastermind, genius in-game leader.
He
But
never said he was the.
didn't say he could fill in forms necessarily.
Well, I hope he's got his car back now and everything's back in control. I think he actually posted the other day he bought a new car.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So that's a bit of a full circle there. Going against
He
the
had
original.
someone else park it though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Make sure you can just sit in the car. It can be your car, someone to drive you around. That's when you're balling.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I haven't got a license. Maybe if I like become rich and famous, Henry, I'll do that. I'll get like a smart car and I'll hire someone to drive me around.
I just get the Uber Black experience, you know.
Ooh, okay, ultimate.
That's how I roll. You know, I'm spending an extra $20 on a ride,
but you're feeling great.
But I look great. You know, when I arrive, they know.
Yeah.
This guy has spent at least $15 extra on the privilege of sitting in a slightly larger car.
And perhaps the seat was slightly warmer. There is
perhaps.
maybe he wanted a heated seat.
There might be a bottle of water back there as well. You never know.
That's always a luxury.
That's
I
when you
always
feel like,
too
you know
rude to
what this
ask.
guy knows
though.
he's doing. He's getting the 5-star.
Do you ask about the bottle or just grab it?
I grab it.
You strike me as a
if
grabber.
if it's in the back, like, what do you want from me? You keeping your own personal possessions in the back? This is my domain. That's yours. You're leaving things here. They're going to be concealed.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. Do you believe that your domain, getting into a cab, is always the back seat? You're not a front seat rider. Okay.
I feel like that would make everyone uncomfortable, especially if you're just a solo dude getting in towards the front seat. You have to be a very charismatic person to pull that one off. You have to have conversation ready to go. You have to be in the mood to talk, and most importantly, you have to make sure that they're fine with it as well. There's a lot of moving parts to that whole situation. Just sit in the back.
Now I'm getting all socially anxious about all the previous cabs I've taken.
Is that all you'd ever do? Front seat only?
Oh, and they're like moving their lunchbox. I'm like, oh, sorry,
That's
mate.
what gets them the most. Their thermos, their lunchbox is there. They're like, you know, there's a whole back row there. It's fine.
Yeah, you weirdo. Why am I doing that?
Hi, I'm weird. I'm sitting in the
Hi,
front.
nice to meet you. I'm not going to talk to you. Headphones on, but I'm just here to make things as go. Oh, you don't mind sliding the seat back, do you? I know it's crunched up because you're accommodating for the expectation of people getting in the proper side of the car. I'm just going to go ahead and slide this right back there. Yeah, I'm just going to move your belongings, and we're in.
We're going to slide into this game. That's for sure. Fnatic CT side, Astralis. On what I think at this point is their best map. I think they're unstoppable in that. I think they look so good in there. Look out for Glaive as he'll be leading the charge here. We said the vents will be a very prevalent part of the map, but he's focusing towards the upper bomb site, and my goodness has it worked out for them. 2 headshots as quick as you like, but JW, can he pick up the pieces? Apparently not. Flasher will get 1 frag in return, but he's got to reload at this stage, and that means the T's can fall right back due to the veil of the smoke.
Yeah, this has gone so fast. Arai, Golden, does get a nice connection onto Device, but a bullet to remind him of what lies beneath. Warning shots. Does have Flusher in support, but currently waiting for the smoke to clear. Now is his chance. There's a smoke and a kit on Golden. If Flusher could do some nasty work here, they've got a shot, but unfortunately, that's been taken away from them. He's got to frag all 3, won't happen. And so Astralis, just a top take, and it works out wonderfully. Glaive, the spearhead of the assault.
Yeah, a 1 flashbang in from T-Spawn, and then everyone just swing for their fences through Squeaky Door. They came through in 3s and managed to find every single shot required. Glaive leading the charge, as he said. He saw that flashbang come through, and Molotov was down as well, and nothing could be done there. Once that bomb's planted, especially in this this sort of pistol, there's no chance of bringing it back. It was a decent effort from Flush there to get a couple of kills, and they will be force buying in the second. Now, this is one of the maps where it's very difficult to make a compelling case that this is going to work out. It will take mistakes from Astralis, a rush towards ramp, something like that. dupreeh, he might find himself in the face with CZ bullets.
Lovely.
He's fine.
That could not have gone better for dupreeh. He doesn't have the bomb on his back. So instead, he will just be somewhat of a fly in the ointment. They've got him down there, and he can just slowly crawl around, call what he's seeing and hearing at the moment. It's going to be Golden, the first potential target, as Smoke's outside and a walk. Glaive and Device considering that. To contest is Crims, just a Desert Eagle, though, and he is perhaps going to be able to pull the timing out. If anyone could draw their attention, he could be getting on that red container or slipping behind all of Astralis. And actually, you know, this is... Oh, Magisk! He caught a whiff of it, but still gobbles up the bullets and information by the boatload from Crims.
Absolutely, but remember, we already had a player down towards lower, so now Golden, he'll have to try and fend him off, but that Desert Eagle at close range, it's difficult to find the kills required. Same story with the Scouts as well. So yes, a great opening frag there, but I don't think it will lead to too much. Glaive can patrol towards the ramp room at this point. It's just going to take over commitment from Astralis for the CT to even stand a chance. It should be 2-0. You're better off just saving what you have at this point. 2 CZs and a Galil gives you a second bite of the cherry going forward, but yeah, definitely can't go for it. And that's what we were talking about going into this one. Astralis, they love that lower bomb site. They just know how powerful it is. Even in a 4 versus 2, you got Kriegs and that bomb down, you're likely going to win it. It's kind of insane.
It was an interesting route they took as well in order to do that. By getting dupreeh down the vents early, they could not only just count on him, his presence down decon when they needed it, but they just went outside. You know, like they didn't have to do anything with it.
It opens up the map so much. Yeah. Anywhere you've thought of stacking or trying to have a stronger defense, say outside a ramp, for example, as soon as dupreeh's down towards lower, one of those players has to peel away. Your teammates then group up and focus one choke point. Likely you're going to have one player there, especially with the lesser weaponry. There's just no chance. It's such a powerful move to get players down towards the vent. And Astralis, they'll be doing plenty of that. They did manage to win the second round. That was against the 4 spy. Remember, 3 players did survive. So we'll take over Galil's, CZ's, and I think I spotted a cheeky scout there as well. So JW spent all his money going into this one. He really better hit some shots.
Interesting.
I'm not sure why he would do that, to be honest with you. He's hoping that Galil can do some serious damage.
Let's see what you've got for us. It's going to be dupreeh doing rinse and repeat. This time, however, he does take a bit more damage, and that's the CZ bullets you were hoping on. Number 4, down to 15 this time. And oh, Golden, a huge pickup. He's been always the playmaker on ramp for Fnatic, and he does a fantastic job of being able to get the one and done.
Well, this is working out quite nicely. I have to say, the scout surely goes down here, and it does get a tag before it's dropped, so that's much more than he was worth, to be honest, on the JW side of things. He's taking Zipex down to 27 points of health. I'd actually give the advantage to Fnatic on this one. Sure, we got ramp control, but that's not a bomb site. This is just a portal to it. Yeah,
Glaive, by passing off the bomb, it gives him the freedom to go hunting. He knows this is going to be held. He has the weapon advantage. Not necessarily a left eye peek, though. And Flusher, that's a huge delivery. UPS, next day delivery, AK-47, please. And actually using a nade. Now that might have sent it closer. No, it was even still within his grasp. No stress there. This round, you said they're going to have to back it up with a full investment from JW. Well, 3 frags in, this looking better.
Yeah, and he got 2 tags to contribute to that as well. He got the initial tag towards the vent, which led to dupreeh's demise. And at that point as well, the scout got a tag on the player that went down towards the ramp as well. Yeah. So he did great work. Didn't get any kills, but that scout proved to be a very valuable outside.
Yeah, he's still operating with just 17 points of health. And so it all kind of falls to Magisk. He's up on the railings at now. He has the sound cue. Knows he's going to at least find one with the Galil. Neat and tidy so far. Bomb on the back of Zipex, though, and he won't be able to plant it. It's now loose. A 1 versus 3 for Magisk. With 20 seconds, the pressure of a plant bearing down upon him. Bullets from every direction, but they're not giving him any opportunity. Got to choose a spot for that utility. Now shots coming in, and it's the second that connects. Golden, bookend frags of the round. He gets the first and the last, and that will be the end of that. 2-1, stopping Astralis early.
Always scares me going towards ramp room, and you know they've got deagles for that reason alone. Sure, you have the advantage there, but they do still aware 1 deag. They've got the retreat plan as well. They can drop that and just get out of there, right? You can't trade that kill. So I always try and avoid ramp room on these sort of rounds, but obviously sometimes you can't avoid those shots. That was excellent from Golden, and Roland to deny the plant as well. Great stuff, and Golden to close things out with the Desert Eagle. Very strong round. One you didn't expect them to win. The scout pays dividends.
It really worked out wonderfully. Let's see if Fnatic can maintain some of this control they've managed to take away from Astralis. Orb in the hands of JW this round, and some sacrifices made for the AWPer of the Danes. Device just with the deagle. And some early hut control actually gifted to Brolin. Mac 10 couldn't really be much of a better weapon for the job, other than, of course, the shotguns. And helmets all present as well, which makes Bronnan's job with this SMG all the more difficult. Astralis smoke's going to start to fly. Different lineups to what we're used to seeing, interestingly enough, so let's see how they land eventually. We'll check in with them. And Roland's investigations. Oh, with 1 HP. Yeah, he'll be caught scarpering. Magisk finds the opening frag.
They can slow things right down now. Waiting for the utility to come and return, and JW's actually on the bomb side floor with the AWP. Won't see it there too often. And it leads to an L frag here. The Galil, not the best weapon for the job, and it's going to fall apart here for Fnatic. 3 versus 2. Still a chance in the round, but Nuke always so difficult to get back in towards these bomb sites. Golden knows it. Galil in hand, Molotov in front of him as well. He'll just have to sit back and wait. They have no kit, 1 smoke.
What do you do?
And 3 kills to find in a situation that money's already broken. Another Molotov, I think that signifies the end of the round.
Yeah, as the second one lands, I'm golden. I'm saying right, safe. Leave. And keep hold of that M4. Flusher and Golden will be looking to maintain their weapons. Astralis, they're going to be respectfully keeping hold of that site. Looking for a safe exit as well. That round went from looking so good for Fnatic to just looking very simply solved. I mean, it was just a push out of that squeaky and a trade.
It was the nice reaction there from Astralis. As soon as JW, sure, he got that opening frag, but you know there's an orb. Not up and towards heaven, not in the rafters, he's on the bomb side floor, right? So that's when you can pincer him. That's when you smoke main entrance, going together. And sure, it was a nice, advantageous position as a surprise for 1, but he didn't really have to back up there with the Galil on the hut to really fend them off and squeaky. Unless that Galil gets 2 frags, you're pretty much done for there. And JW knew it. He got that first kill, but unfortunately just gave up his position at that stage. So it is going to be a resounding victory for Astralis. They did take down one of the penultimate weapons there, so only 1 survives on the Fnatic side, and you can see it's a Galil with an MP9 to go in tow.
Flusher forced to rebuy the full M4, the Kevlar that he was previously trying to save. Those are the sacrifices Henry's already highlighted. In eyes with Zipex as he's looking to do some fast moves, smooth moves perhaps, already actually dropping down. Wow, this is going to be so quick. He has been spotted though, but still, that's going to keep the CTs busy as they've already snuck out of Squeaky as well. Flusher does catch Magisk, who is lingering alongside Zipex, but despite no element of surprise, he's already got 1.
Nice work from Flusher there. That was scrappy. It looked like Astralis had the positional control, but now it's a 4 versus 3. Fnatic holding on. They know that something's afoot here. Tees might have crawled out of the squeaky door, and they'd be absolutely right. Brodan plays a very defensive position, but JW to save the day here. The Orb striking. Still the advantage lies with Fnatic here, but Brodan's position looks like he might save the day.
Yeah, he has a perfect angle on both of them if he wants it. And instead, just going to catch the arm, grazes Device down to 20. And Glaive actually has managed to drop. That's the bomb on his back. Device in support. They do get that lower sight. Henry, let's see if Astralis can prove your theory right. They're battered, they're bruised, but the bomb's down.
The orb goes down first because they can quick scope and get the fast kill, but it doesn't seem to matter. It's Device who's done it again. You give them that lower bomb sight, Alex, they're going to win the round. The orb is just ready and waiting. That's why the orb drops first, and that's why Device is holding it as well, because you want the one-shot quick kill. You don't want to have to spray. You don't want to shoot in the chest or anything like that. So it was the right idea from Fnatic there, but it's left Golden in a very difficult situation. He has got the kit this time, but no smoke. HE might be enough, I suppose. Device will have to open the door eventually, and he'll still hit the shot. That's such a sick round from him.
That's ridiculous from Device, and it feels like he's very comfortable doing that close quarter AWPs towards Vent. How many highlights have we seen from him? I think I watched one the other day where they just dropped 1 by 1. He's just AWPing them as they drop and descend. We'll see this from Device's POV now, as he had a spectacular set of frags. This is the first, and then with 19 HP, he's ready and waiting for the second.
That's
gorgeous.
So sick. Yeah, well played to him. He didn't panic as well. It could have been a full defuse for all he knew, but waited for Golden to make the next move. Doors open. There he is. 4 kills in the round. We said the orbs wouldn't have massive amount of impact, or Device certainly proving me wrong.
That's all 4 of his frags in 1 round.
Yeah,
he's online now.
So, not really even a pass for JW. He's spent a lot of his... Can we bring the money up a second? How much cash has he expended into this? He's gone all in again, Alex.
Interesting.
That's a weird one. He's gone for Nova and Armor. So, like, it means he'll be fine. He'll use an SMG or a shotgun again going to the next round, but still, you'd think considering their current situation, might want to hold on to the schmeckles a bit more.
Yeah.
But Nova to save the day. $900 a kill for that weapon, but you don't really see it too often on any map, to be honest.
And he's opted for the secret corner, hoping to be able to be a spanner in the works for the... Oh, he's even, like, pre-aiming it. Gosh, he's going to clear that for sure.
Knows something is up, doesn't he? Has he got a Molotov right now? Glaive doesn't. So he would have to face check that. You don't want to do that alone.
That's going to hurt. Shrapnel down
the thing is, the Nova's not as reliable as you'd think.
Oh, he's got the info as well. JW, the force bite is met with 0 profit. And now Device has actually managed to do even more. Just 2 remain now. Golden and Crims make it just Golden with his unarmored Deagle in order to try and fend off the 5th. It's not going to be likely, if not possible. You can hear all of the steps above him, and there's nothing you can do. Just perhaps taking this extra couple of seconds just to get everyone grounded and discussing what's happening in the next.
Nova's found at least.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's going to be valuable asset going forward, I suppose.
Skin check.
The fact he's got the Deagle and the shotgun, it could be something, but it doesn't look like he'll survive either way. Just trying to get 1 kill if possible. Device doing his best to offer it up to him, and it will be Mages first. A little bit sloppy there from Astralis. Definitely don't need to find that kill, but should be taken care of. You don't want that shotgun, Dupree. Have a look at it, though. Just 1 kill given away. 5-1. We did say it doesn't really matter what side they start on, Alex, because their T side's pretty impeccable.
I mean, yeah, it is impeccable, infallible, and certainly that seems to be the case for Fnatic so far. Only 6 rounds in. I'm going to hold my breath just a little longer. It does seem like JW's opted for the scout this time, so maybe that's the thought process for him, is if he's fulfilling the role with the scout at the moment. He's going to be talked to, though. Tactical timeout called by Fnatic, so 3 remain.
Yeah, just stop letting them win.
Guys,
that's all we got to try and do
They
here.
keep winning. That's the problem. I've worked it out.
Try and shoot them back. That's all we're going to go for this time. It's such a difficult one, though, because Astralis are just, once they get in the zone, I think Glaive's calling is just, I'm such a fan of it because he knows how to get under your skin. He knows how to suggest what he'll be doing next round. They'll continue to apply pressure outside 2 or 3 rounds. They'll draw down vents 2 or 3 rounds. And just as you adapt, just as you change,
you finally feel that you fixed it.
He knows the moment when he needs to just call the tactic, go for the upper rush. You know, he's so good at that. And that's the position he's in right now. He knows that he's suggested so many times, we keep going down lower. We haven't really used outside at all here. We have Glaive going out there. We go ramp sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised after Fnatic calling the tactical timeout, he just calls something absurd now. He just goes with something that completely against the grain we haven't seen so far, just knowing they're going to be changing things up to adapt to what they've presented so far.
That is one of the many facets of the Astralis machine.
Yeah. That's what makes him such a terrifying in-game leader. There's not many that can frag at his level as well. So an upper execution, it's going to be the core here. Smokes and flashes exchange, but Glaive, he'll get them the first frag of the round here, but still struggling to get out the key choke point of Huts.
Yeah, it was Brolan to find that first frag that really did slow them down. Dupree, the entry fragger, this time has body bag zipped up, and Golden, again, so reliable on ramp room with the support now of the Scout, and actually both of them are wounded. It will be Device to shut down Brolan, but not before he got caught Glaive. And so Device, he's done a lot with a low HP bar, but that's too much to ask for. Drops down, inspects his knife in front of Flusher. And that's an easy one for him to pick up. A second then for Fnatic, and just when the doctor would have ordered it.
Yeah, imagine if he dropped down with the AWP then and just had to click when he landed. That could have been so spicy. Brolan, though, ready for the change of pace. It was the upper execution of sorts. Couple of smokes down. Skylight flash to come through. But Flusher, you can see it. Anticipation that was coming through, but still, luckily for him, Device with the knife drawn is taken down, but the money's still a bit of an issue on the CT side. A scout for Golden. JW back on the AWP for Mass for Brolan. Good grenade, should do reasonable damage. I say reasonable, barely there, about 10 to even play at their Device and Glaive.
Makes the M4's headshots a little more deadly.
A little bit, yes. We'll see now what the play is. That's normally Glaive outside, and he'll stay true to that. JW investigating towards the silo position. Device fumbling the jump somewhat. He said, you know what?
I wanted to smoke anyway.
Just do a smoke.
I wanted to throw a smoke anyway, it's fine.
So these are the smokes we were talking about at the beginning of the game. This is pretty standard stuff in terms of outside smokes, but it's slightly deeper than the usual variation. It allows you to gain access towards garage as well. And, oh my goodness, Device, I don't know how he's still alive there. Nothing but his head was showing, but still,
Jesus.
He fires off shots, stays alive, and they know exactly where the AWP is. Glaive encroaching on his position. That's
the perfect use of the smoke. Look at what Glaive has been able to achieve. He's already behind the CT who's playing outside. Look at Flusher, completely none the wiser. He's even trying to help them inside because there's nothing outside. I did air quotes. I realize that didn't quite work. Device, however, will draw the attention of Flusher, and now he can reveal the trick. It's Glaive, powerful smokes, and a backstab to bring him even further in the lead.
And it's all about getting that garage control. That's why those smokes are so much more valuable, I think, compared to the traditional ones. So it means it gives you a lot more point of access, takes away the same vision, and now you're just waiting for reactions from the CTs, and then it's getting absolutely mauled at this point. The AWP, you don't want it in that position, and it will be Device to take down Zipex, no less.
Thanks, man.
Don't know how he actually gets away with that one, but he will. It should be a round for Astralis, still no problem, but somehow Device took down his teammate. Obviously, the information is opposition would be towards Squeaky Door as well. He saw a pixel, took the shot. We'll have no knock-on effect here, apart from maybe JW saving the AWP.
Yeah, I love that, though. Astralis outdoor control. Between the two of them, they managed to make it. Yeah.
Just about Glaive. Just about Glaive.
You got a poster in your room, you wake up?
I actually might do, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are the Astralis posters,
I'm
man?
turning that much into a fanboy. He's a Source player as well. So that's why, like, he's a full package for me.
Of course,
the perfect man.
Yeah, he is your dream boat. Not only an in-game leader.
I remember when I first started commentating, he was the one like fanboying me.
Was he really?
Like, oh, gosh, so cool. You're coming back to Counter-Strike. I was such a fan of your player. Now I'm just the one that's in awe of what he does.
Yeah, I mean, the storylines, the individual storylines, there's so many that are yet to be fully, presented to the world. There's so many stories of greatness. Blade certainly is one of them. We'll see a nice handling by Zipex with low HP to bring this one home. That's the team kill. We were wondering how that one transpired. So the score, if you have just joined us, is 6-2. Astralis on their T side of Nuke, no less. This was Fnatic's map pick. Now that raised a whole lot of eyebrows on the analyst desk. On fleek, by the way, don't worry. Now we're going to be seeing the early nade and smoke combination. JW taking an alternative angle. This time, it's profitable.
Yeah, it's a brave map for Fnatic to bring out here. The fact you got Vertigo as the kicker as well. Like, these are the maps Astralis are extremely good on.
JW's buys have been so peculiar.
Yeah.
So he dropped the scout in the previous round to gold and picked up an orb. He's got his second orb here now, which he now does already find one with some aggressive orping. Crim's playing the waiting game in somewhat of an off angle. Actually catches Glaive. And this round is getting turned on its head. It's going to get very awkward for the three remaining Danes, especially as they're all gathered. Smoke will arrive, but actually Dupree, despite the flashbang, does find Brollan. Crim's spray is rewarded as well, and the fights keep coming. This time, they're being presented to Astralis. They're expecting one towards heaven, and that has arrived in the form of Golden. Only a scout, though, and a low HP player. He can't quite connect. They're both up top site, and Golden's fallen now. 2 versus 4, Henry, thrown into level odds.
That was a little scary for Golden there. If he hits one of those shots, the round's done. They can still win this. I'd say they still have the advantage of sorts. But now Astralis bomb planted. They know there's unlikely chances they have kits on the CT side, and now it's a 2 versus 1. They know Crims is up here as well by the looks of things. He's low HP, another 4-on-2. It's Magisk and Device to deliver the goods. Absolutely stunning work there. It looked like a round that was done for there. 5-on-3 down, had to go towards upper. They got killed through the smoke upon entry, but still they bring it back. The bomb's planted. It all came down to that scout sequence from Golden. And certainly not a sniper himself. It's a difficult weapon to use in those scenarios, but if he just nails that one shot, I think the round was theirs, but couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, and of course, you know, hindsight's 2020. We know that that's Device with the low HP, and you just take an extra second to stabilize your aim, but he's just in that quick scopey, scouty mindset. Wanted to make sure he gets as many shots down range as possible. So you can see the setup. JW going to be playing in main with Flusher holding his back push, which is exactly actually where Astralis are sneaking.
So these are the more common smokes this time. These are the terrorist side smokes, and Flusher is in a strong position to get a couple of kills in the spray. That'll cost him his life. If he gets a clean kill there, he might have had a chance to reset, but unfortunately still, Glaive to open things up, and Flusher will be taken down in response as well. Another 4 versus 3. Did he kill his teammate from main entrance? Is that what happened?
No, they got him. They got him. So that's 2 Astralis frags, 1 for Glaive and 1 for Dupree, and a third now found by Device. Looks like this round is off to a flying start, round 10. And Brollan and Crims, yeah, I mean, already completely disconnected from this round as 2 members of Astralis already find themselves towards the lower site. And it seems like Crims has got a good idea that Zipnix was lingering. But with the bomb going down and Krieg upgraded, I'm still uncertain as to what they do with this. Catches another. Dupree going for a walk. And they are already choosing to save. Not really interested in going down to that lower site.
Again,
yeah.
Down lower. Once that's happened, you can see the CTs like, well, it's a good try, got a few kills, got some exit frags as consolation prizes, I suppose, but it's going to be 8-2. They've won the half at this point, and it hasn't really been closely contested, to be honest with you.
How interesting. I mean, the mindset from Fnatic must have been a combination of their results on Nuke, Astralis' results on Nuke, and an understanding, watching Astralis' Nuke and feeling like you had an understanding of how it operated. Now coming into the actual, the official, you know, this is the upper bracket final. You get the semi-finals if you win this game.
Okay.
The heat is on.
So Glaive did take down JW in main entrance. So Flusher, the fact he took a second to see if there was a couple of players that actually costed his teammate his life.
Yeah.
So he was hoping to see, well, maybe 2 come in front, I can get 2 out of this position. I haven't got the silenced M4, which had been a prime spot for that position, actually. He let his teammate go down first, and then only gets 1 kill in response. So if anything, just hung his teammates out to dry, unfortunately. So here we go then.
I mean, JW is putting a lot of faith into his teammate.
Oh no,
with that
absolutely.
hold, right?
He was arguably out of position, but here we go, changing the pace. As we said, Astralis is so good at going towards upper now, and instead of jumping down the vents, is focusing fully towards his upper side. The smokes are down, the kills have been found. Round over. You don't need me to break that one down for you guys. That was just as textbook as you like. Good smokes down, nade out the door, hit your shots, get the bomb planted, round, and job done.
I think that's about 18 seconds into the round, it's over. That is fast. And a terrifying, I mean, it takes balls. It really does to be done for those topside takes, especially against teams so proficient with the funky buys and the funky weapons. It does seem like Brolan, though, and Golden with their armor and a Krieg to save.
And it's Brolan with the Krieg as well, remember. We did say if he gets on the CT side, he can cause some damage here, but it might be a little bit too late at this point. There's Golden, nice shot. Money's so strong for Astralis at this point, it won't be a massive deal. If he gets another kill, maybe that's something. There's Golden, $600 extra at least, but he'll be removed eventually. And now Brolan is holding on to the Krieg. Like we said, he played towards the ramp room, and hopefully he'll deliver in the rounds going forward. So Krieg saved on the T side as well. No AWP on that side, but 9-2 up. Like we normally say, like historically, 5 rounds of the T side is decent. Anything else is a bonus. At this point, doesn't look like they're showing any signs of slowing down. And
Astralis is showing signs that they really want to get themselves over to the upper bracket, get themselves locked in with a day off for the semi-finals. It's to end of 2019, and we're seeing Liquid and Astralis in the form they're in. That's exciting for what the playoffs could hold for ECS Season 8 finals. There is no doubt in my mind if both of these teams finding form is promising, and so is that for Astralis. Another opening frag, this time courtesy of Device. Door blows open, and a sitting duck in the form of Crims.
Yeah, opening kills.
Kills, time to pluralize.
And there's JW pulling one back. Smoke's not ideal in that position either, but they know exactly where he is now. I dare say they'll just hightail it towards the upper side. Flusher might find himself in a precarious spot here. He's going to have to do great work with the AUG, which he can't do really. Scope would have been ideal there. Didn't have the time really to pull it out. Glaive would have taken care of him either way. And now Device looking towards Squeaky Door. Doesn't get much easier that in terms of kills. Brolan just walks past the Squeaky Door and down he goes.
Yeah, caught by the patience of Device, and now the flank from JW. They are heading towards the top side, so he's got a chance perhaps to catch one or two. That's the first. The second from the Device, and through the wall, he's caught another. JW, he's been a shining light, looking for an ace clutch, and actually through the flames, he's ahead of the curve. He can actually catch them. They may not be ready for this with the molly they threw. And another frag. JW, he's on for the ace clutch. 4 frags to his name. He's scarpering all the way to ramp, I think.
I think he might be right there. This is so
he's reading
sick.
everything.
Yeah, he's one step ahead of them every step of the way here. This has been very impressive, but still a difficult situation for him. He has got the Molotov. He Molotovs the hut, goes for the full defuse. That could be enough here.
Stop. That's an exciting prospect.
I think that's what he does.
He's got the kit. Slow drop. Cautious of the close corners. And he does have time to burn here, so he will just go through the process of elimination. Wants to maybe clear that close corner.
Molotov have full defuse.
Oh, he's opted for the corner instead. Yeah, that would have been lovely. Fakes it out. Going to draw the information, but Magic's called his bluff. He will have to go and check it just a little bit. Gets the information now, looking to hold. Scope perhaps to bait him out. 1 second, he does, and Magic's he falters! JW's done it! I can't believe he's got away with that! The cheeky bastard! He's done it!
That's insane. He had no business winning that round whatsoever. Magus buckles under the pressure as well, knowing that would be a historical clutch to pick up, and JW delivers. It's a round that's given away. They were running around like they had that one in the back, which they did, to be fair, but at this point, Device, he couldn't do much about that. The wallbang to come through, but the awareness to go through the flames, drop down those vents, be ready and waiting for them, bring it into a 1 versus 1 was just an absolute masterclass of CS. But the problem is, that's only their 3rd round on the board. Had this been a close game, that would be monumental. But still, it seems to be lighting the fire beneath Brolan. He's got the first frag here, down at 34 points of health. Magisk, he'll be the first one to be removed. Wow.
I'm still catching my breath. An unbelievable round from Jesper Vexel. Smoke's going to start landing. This is the Astralis default smokes wall. You'll be able to see that that does enable Glaive to take additional control and even push through that smoke into warehouse should they fancy it and feel it. But look how much freedom this gives them. What a love. They can just crouch, not be too worried about heaven, peek over in between the two. It's a powerful combination, and now they descend. 4 members of Astralis, all that remains for the Danes, now heading towards the lower site. And just procedurally and quietly, worth mentioning, going to be starting to take some control. They are not they're keeping this one a secret. I think likely some utility. You can see Glaive was flirting with the idea, but instead they stay quiet.
They've done good work so far. You can see Broline with a push towards the lobby. Confirms that that area is clear elite. He needs to get ready for lower. JW's towards ramp with the sniper.
Who's playing lower right now?
I'm not
There's
sure
no one
anyone
there.
is. So they're going to have to do a full retake here. We've always said that 4-on-2s, even with the bomb down, is difficult to hold. But JW, he's now working it out. He's going to be smoking himself out of position to make sure he can't be isolated from the T's. This is looking much better now. It's Golden who's down there with him, and still they will hold on. 3 versus 1. Looks like the round is done. Device to be dropped. It was the ace clutch from JW to get them into advantageous position where they might actually be able to string some rounds together, and they've delivered on their promise. It's going to be 9-4 overall, and Money is actually in an interesting position here. I don't think there's enough for a full buy on the T side. Here's JW looking towards that window position. Nails a shot on Zipex, smokes himself out. Golden's there towards ramp as well, and it's a really solid hold there from the CT side. He got the initial kill and denied the plan there, more importantly.
Yeah, lovely, lovely stuff. And actually, for the first time in this game, Astralis are going to have to slow down a second, take a moment, take an eco, or a deco, I suppose, as you see. That's $700 sidearm being the choice weapon for this task. Does expose himself, but gets a little bit more information as well for that, and so the bodies will start to be lined up.
It's more like it from Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, a 9-6 half you can work with. You're really not working too far, especially if you lose that pistol with anything more than double digits. I mean, that's scary.
The way Nuke's played these days, 6 rounds is enough. It's not ideal, that's for sure, but the way this game was looking, especially in that 4 versus 1 as well, I looked like this was absolutely done. But we have a competitive game on our hands now. They're going to be winning this one. Mages will confirm that by being dropped towards a T-red position. Round 15 coming up, and I think it's an important one. The fact that there's a world of difference in 9-6 and 10-5. Double digits on the T side is quite the mountain to climb. But 9-6, you win a pistol, it seems manageable, you know, just in terms of a psychological point of view.
It certainly does. Yeah, no, absolutely. And what will be the call from Glaive? We'll see whether or not they'll be mixing up the pace again. Some of their top side takes were happening within the first 10 seconds of play. Of course, this time against the full buy, much more unlikely. We will see the nade exchange early. It's actually a double flash from Glaive, which does suggest or imply there's something coming fast, and this time it's actually towards Golden. You can see he has all of his fundamentals nailed down. If contact is found, molly and fall back, but look how quick, they're just holding W. They're going to catch Flusher in transition, or are they? Their trades do come in. In fact, a double kill from Magis puts them in good stead.
That's the innovation of Nuke we haven't seen for some time. There's so many options available to you, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that sort of approach. Get fast ramp control instead of just going down lower like you would expect. He pounced them towards outside. Fnatic did well to even get a couple of kills in that position. It was such a great call there from Astralis. The bomb's going to be planted. Magus watching for the flank coming through, and he can't connect the shot. 2-on-2 now. Smoke and Molotov available on the CT side. Crims went towards the double doors.
It's a crucial round now for Fnatic. We started this round by saying 9-6 sounds a whole lot better than 10-5. 2 frags away from realizing it for both teams. Dupree throws Brolin into 1v2, and just one more bullet was all that was necessary. It will be a 10-5 half in favor of Astralis, and they have defense to come.
Yeah, that was actually a really entertaining game of CS. It was Astralis who showed us how amazing they can be on their terrorist forces, but JW has kept them in this game. It's not the best scoreline, but they can certainly recover this. We'll see if they can do it after this break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It continues. Astralis vs Fnatic. I'm Machine, joined by Henry G, and I have cleared my throat. That's so much better. But we do have what could be continuing to be a good Counter-Strike game. It was, unfortunately for Fnatic, an incredible start from Astralis that made the scoreline look as extreme as it did.
But they had a lifeline, though. The ace clutch from JW has made this game realistic, at least. Before, it looked like a fantasy. They had no chance. Astralis are just way too strong. But JW showed them there's still a chance. They have weaknesses. They are mortal. They do bleed. And we'll see if they can win the pistol here. A much-needed pistol, I have to say. This is actually the pick of Astralis here. So you'd expect them to pick it up, but it's Inferno next is the problem I have right now. Vertigo to close things out as well. It just seems like I just don't see a world where Fnatic can win this series.
Well, not if it goes to Vertigo.
Yeah, right. I feel like they can win a map, but it would have to be this one in my book. We'll see what can be done. We'll see Device opening things up with the USB towards the ramp room, and Zipex not as clean as Device, but still gets the frag all the same. Bomb goes down. JW. He's like, guys, what happened to the lower split? That was the idea. I'm down here. I kept my end of the bargain, but no one else alive.
They had a little bit more additional resistance than they were expecting.
Yeah, apparently so. The old bait and switch towards ramp. Usually only having one player there, but Device stuck in the corner, baited in by Zipex. He's going to be overlooked. He gets 2 very quick kills. Zipex with the third. Like I said, a bit scrappy, but that's fine. And now JW. He won a 4 versus 1 clutch, but he had slightly heavier artillery at that point, not just the Glock.
No, not quite as glamorous. Down in the AWP still. He's having a go and does have some contact. It is that 1v1 he was hoping to find, but immediately Glaive Scarpers to protect the bomb. 3 members of Astralis now, all keeping hold of that one. They will play the odds, they will play it safe, and they will secure 11. So winning the pistol, putting them in good stead to start the series off with a map win on Fnatic's pick, as Henry has already made clear and alluded to. Inferno is where Astralis wanted to take this one. Likely the response to a nuke pick. They were like, well, I guess Inferno. That was a second that used to be, of course, their maps of choice. It does seem like they are fallible in some other analysts' eyes on these maps. Sean Gare's talking, of course, about that, suggesting that he believes that they can lose now on nuke and Inferno.
Well,
here they go.
Block rush. Let's do it, boys. Get stuck in, make it a quick one. Didn't want to play that round anyway, to be honest with you. So just a 5-second round there.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's all that really is. There is an argument to be made. You can slow it down and bait out grenades. They cost money.
Jumping a Molotov so it's not an SMG death.
Well, that is something you could aspire to, but very difficult to make it work. And if you don't make it work, it can actually just fall apart, be an own goal in the end. Just an MP9 finds you a low HP instead and just mows you all down.
It's never a good feeling. You're all just sitting there looking at the floor like, hi.
I think I've only seen that once successfully happen. They all just jumped in the flames and actually they got 5 kills from it. But either way, we'll see the first buy come through on the Fnatic side. AKs are out, and you can see we don't have Kriegs across the board now because money is a little bit tighter. Krieg costing a bit more.
I would agree with you if it wasn't Fnatic. Unfortunately, we've got the most stubborn Swedes in existence here. Yeah. Those guys are not leaving the Kalashnikov. They will hold that all the way through. Even if the Krieg was free, I reckon Clusher would still be buying it.
He'd still be buying shotguns.
Yeah, that's true. Nice shots, Device. Taking the frag, and actually that HE looks so juicy. Unfortunately for him, only a little tickle towards Golden, but making sure he gets his utility out. He is having that gap closed in on, but he'll just go ahead and close the hatch. Or will he? Actually, he enables Golden, to go for a rather quick frag. Now they have access to lower, and you can see immediate CT reaction. It's Magisk, descends the ladder, and looks to support ramp.
Yeah, it was looking fantastic there for Astralis. I dare say, like, Device with that advantage, being by himself. I liked what he was doing there, but he certainly had vulnerabilities of the gap in the smoke. Might just want to take the advantage and walk away, but it's JW with a guaranteed frag here towards Magisk. And now advantage Fnatic, 4-on-3 against MP9s and an M4.
All because of Golden's frag, that second comes in. In fact, the Magisk fell out of heaven, enabled JW to get up there. Pushing forward, the Molotov is not going to slow him down, so exposed is Glaive, now just all onto Zipex, a 1 versus 3, just an MP9, the bomb will be going down on that top site. And is there a weapon to pick up there? Yep, there's a Krieg, I believe, on the floor, so Zipex will at least be able to upgrade his weapon for the next round at the bare minimum. And I think that's probably going to be his MO for this remaining time. Just going to head towards CT spawn. You can see going for a slow stroll in the park.
They've got enough money to buy next round, but saving the Krieg will certainly help things out. We talked about the benefits of having on the CT side. Zipex Only sat on 9 frags. Hasn't had a show-stopping performance as of yet, but still plenty of time to come online on the CT side especially. And there it is, Fnatic to pick up the round there. It was the opening pick for Astralis. Device dropping all his utility. He felt safe towards those secret steps, but Golden had already snuck by. And as you mentioned, as soon as they get that kill, then the Device is likely to be outside by himself. They start sneaking towards the Heaven position. Find the player in CT spawn. It was pretty much job done at that point. They only had the MP9s in tow, but there's Device first kill. Is that gap in the smoke I was talking about? That was the problem there. Device heard him coming, but couldn't do much about it. JW helps himself towards Heaven, and he finds an unsuspecting Magisk waiting on the other side as JW just completely destroys them one by one, and we'll see the AWP for Device here. So we knew money would be a little bit tight, so it makes sense. Bring up the AWP, see if we can keep it arranged towards outside. That'll be round number 19 coming through.
I'm interested to know if how much Fnatic can close this gap now. I mean, this is their chance. This is their moment. They know if you win this round, start to break that Astralis. Glaive's just playing, using that smoke perfectly. It's a little wall to play around, but it doesn't stop Brolan. Caught out, but he did have the better arsenal, and now working with just 25 points of health for the remainder. Tight line. See many AWPers take that one. Can catch the cross in towards main. There's now some late outside smoke's going to be arriving.
Yeah, all the advantages you could ask for on the Fnatic side. Device.
God, that is a ridiculous long line.
Yeah, well, that's been removed at this point. He has to keep the range long at this point. He's got no armor. Any grenades, any bullets in his general direction will take him down. He knows it. So just sending one player towards the secret position. That suggests to go towards ramp and try and split towards lower. Now, the problem is you normally have Zipex holding the ramp room. Now, he doesn't give up too easily.
Oh, look at that line.
That's a committed position as well.
He wants to get them support as well. Device has arrived, and so do they in the kill feed. One each, a second for Device. He gets greedy. Steals another. Crims was his second helping. Now JW looking to spoil this ramp hold. Zipex is going to make a bit of a play. Brings him down to 72. Device looking to come back to support, but that bomb is right once again in Astralis' grasp. Twice we've seen Fnatic try this play, and twice they've lost that bomb in ramp room.
I like that from Dupree as well. He doesn't go for the backstab play here. He knows there's another player they have no information on. I was about to say it's a godlike position. Had he got himself in the corner, it would have been. But instead, he goes right in front of the hole, and they've got 10 seconds remaining, but the bomb, it's not recovered. There's no chance of winning this round now. It's Zipex, like I said, a committed position towards ramp, but that's not an angle you pre-fire at all. You've got so many moving pieces towards that spot. Hit the order to back him up as well. They nail it after losing the first frag, no less as well. It's going to be 13-6.
Yeah, lovely, quick, supportive work from Device. He arrived just as he needed to. I mean, within the second he arrived, they were coming around that corner. Could not have been better supportive call. I imagine Zipex was the one, you know, to coordinate that. Of course, we don't have that information, but probably just hears the steps and starts begging for some sort of support. And we're into what looks like a bit of a Fnatic late call. You can see that Crimson Flusher was still at spawn, picking up their utility to round it all out. Crunching the numbers, and actually a very aggressive spray. Does tag Glaive down to 29, and Device, he wants to go for some close quarters AWPing. JW about to get a taste of his own medicine. Instead, it's Crims. Oof, a quick flick, pulling the pin. And an early first blood. It's extended as well by Astralis. They are not slowing down. It will be Brolan to give some sort of respite, but only for a moment. He's gone too.
Yeah, it's up to JW once again. He'll be joined by Flasher this time. It's a 4. 3 versus 2 as the headshot comes through. A little bit too aggressive there from the CT side, but still everything under control for now. Over a minute on the clock. Desert Eagle only for Flasher here, but he is deadly with the weapon. A chance, but unfortunately the range a little bit too far there. It's going to be JW just with 33 points of health. Money will be absolutely ravished after this round. It's a great performance once again from Device. 2 frags in the round. Had to get aggressive towards the squeaky door. They had a player reloading in the corner. He was aware of that. Looks towards the actual lobby position itself. Takes him down, knife out, times it to perfection. And at that point, absolute chaos ensues, and there's no chance of picking it up here. This was the shot. So you knew players reloading the race, saw the crosshair, moved to that position, but then spots a player at lobby, and at that point gets the hell out of there. Well played.
He did. I mean, he's such a nuisance to play against, I'm sure. It must be so irritating because he's doing everything right, and often won't make the low percentage play. Is one way to describe it. JW quite the opposite of that, and he's one to always change the meta. The JW meta is a different one. As the frags do start coming in again, does look like the CT side are picking up pace. At least the bomb goes down, though. That is going to be something for Flusher to be celebrating about. Unfortunately, those party poppers might be pulled out of his hands early because Zipex is already on the hunt. He has a kit, a smoke, likely going to be looking to take Flusher out of this one and just tickle that diffuse.
I love that from Zipex especially. He's got all the utility you could ever ask for, but elite players, they know in those scenarios, that's when you get caught out. That's when there's a chance of a mistake happening there. So he makes sure he just keeps the rifle in hand, holds onto the utility, gets that all-important kill. Sure, the bomb's down, but all JW can do at this point is what? Throw a grenade at the defuser, that's about it. It's getting a little bit close for comfort there, but it's still 4 players alive. Bomb defuse, it's going to be the round in their favor as we find ourselves at 15-6 now. Looks like this is a foregone conclusion. And remember, the only reason they actually got into this game was a JW 1-on-4 H clutch.
Yes.
It's the only reason they really had a look into
it could have been a 15-3 right now.
Yeah. But what difference does it make, really? It's still a landslide at this point.
Yeah, certainly.
But it just goes to show you how much of a convincing victory this should be. I haven't got there yet. Never like to overstep the mark, but either way, we get into the next round here. Could be the final one, considering there's 2 Galils, 3 AKs, and no utility on Crims. Flasher, there's 1 Molotov for Bro, that's about it. Fast outside play, and the smokes aren't even there, but the flashbang is. Oh, can you even cross at this point?
I mean, it's Device and Magisk both going to be looking towards the outside cross.
They've dumped everything they had towards outside. They're like, we kind of have to use this, boys. But now those smokes are dissipated. Ooh. You've got outside control to a degree, but it's not really that useful unless you get towards main entrance or secret. Looks like they're choosing the former.
He got the info. That's something. Brollant knows there's an AWP on the line. And now they can take that fight. Dupree, though, holding fast and holding Mouse 1. Double kill for him. And the end is here. 16 then to 6, your final scoreline. Astralis take a leap in the right direction for a day off and a spot in the semis. Map 1 complete.
Yeah, that's what we've come to expect of Astralis in the last month or so. They definitely had a drop in form in the mid stages of this year, but they're certainly having a resurgence towards the tail end of it. Really dominant stuff there. Their T side couldn't have been better. Sure, those are fire in the ointment. They lost a 1-on-4 clutch, but that's not like there's something to do with the strategy or anything like that. That's just JW going above and beyond expectations. They were a little bit overzealous, I could say, in that sort of situation, but they were still running away with the game. The scoreline is reflective of that. 16-6. It's their map pick, sure, but there's not many teams right now that can touch Astralis on nuke.
No, I mean, clearly not. Fnatic's nuke, in my mind, I can understand all of the thought process that led up to this.
Sure.
But Astralis have responded in kind, you know, reminding us of why they were so dominant on that map 32 times in a row on land. I mean, that's a record. It's a ridiculous record.
It's ridiculous. But one thing that does bode well is JW certainly came online at that point, built to their territory next, another AWP-centric affair being Ghetto Inferno. You liking this funky beat?
It's kind of funky,
because we're standing up to that, aren't we?
We've got a little bit of
extra dance, a little bit more fun. Not just sat in the chair. There's no ties in place. You can have a little more freedom. You can even take this off later if you like.
Sure. Yeah, you want the gun show?
Maybe.
No, I don't think we should.
Okay, well, we'll leave the guns on the server for now. We're going to be taking a break and be back with the map number 2.
Delve deeper into the action with the ECS Premium Pass. Never miss iconic moments with access to all 10 player POVs through the Twitch Command Center, alongside the official ECS Observer. Keep up to date with the most detailed in-game statistics. Customize everything from your crosshair to the minimap, and join forces with other viewers to show support for your favorite players through our unique clapping feature. All Faceit TV Twitch subscribers will gain access to the ultimate viewing experience. Subscribe now for just $4.99 a month and watch ECS your way.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Talking into action, laughing and joking. You know my door's always open. There's many different patterns. Pick the one that's everlasting. I'll always be around when you're feeling down. Take my hand and you'll find out. 'Cause I can't let you go, I let you walk away. If I can't tell you why I've been feeling this way lately. You say you don't know if I can hold you down. I'll let you find out. I guess we'll find out. Let's find out. Oh, if I don't get to say, I was hoping maybe you're feeling the same way as I do. You've been on my mind. There's no way ignite this passion. Everything that you imagine can come true if you abandon all your fears. Tensions rising. Who's to know what are the right things to do when the feeling inside takes over you? 'Cause I can't let you go.
A clean start from Astralis sees them go 1-up in this best of 3 and take one step closer to Saturday's semi-final. What a beautiful start it was from them, gentlemen.
It was. I mean, they pulled through, though, on some heroic rounds. In that first half, they won a 3v2. I'm sorry, from their perspective, a 2v3, a 2v4, a 2v4, a 3v5, and they lost a 1v3 ace clutch to JW. I mean, I feel like they battled back from so much in that first half. The score was 8-2 at one point. I looked at the opening frags. It was 5-5. It seemed like a map Fnatic should have been in, but this was just Astralis. This is what it felt like when I watched Astralis in 2018.
Yeah.
They just couldn't lose.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's the thing with just looking over in this map specifically. It's like, you know, like you already mentioned with the clutches, they won 4 clutches in total. Fnatic won 1, and that was they were forced having a double to ace clutch it in the end. And, you know, like the game itself, 5-5 in opening duels, like the score is just 16-6. Like, it doesn't really tell the whole story if you ask me in a way, but in the same time, Astralis just was the better team, and Device was just having a field day.
Yeah, Device went absolutely ridiculously ham in this game. Obviously helps they win both pistols in this game. Surely pistols aren't worth as much as they used to be, but they didn't get eco'd immediately after, I guess, third round loss, but then they immediately reset Fnatic back. It just seemed like they were always in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Device with 113 ADR, which was pretty phenomenal. But we also have to give a tribute to JW, right? He was kind of the main reason that Fnatic were kind of staying in this.
Yeah, of course. And like, specifically just winning that ace clutch, you know, they gave them some momentum, but in the same time, Astralis was just like, I don't know, having fun.
Yeah, they were. The 2v4 where Device just opt all 4 players, that hurts.
Yeah.
When stuff like that happens and you just can't close out rounds, you just feel like you're destined to lose the map.
Yeah, and like that's the thing with Astralis and Nuke. It's like it doesn't really matter for them if they start T or CT. They're always gonna have a good half, no matter what it feels like. That's why, for example, earlier today when we were watching the Shark game, I mean, I wasn't worried at all when I was watching the first CT half. But now this time, you know, they were playing like they've been doing back in 2018, where they were like having a field day at every Nuke game they were playing. And I don't even remember like in 2018 if any game were really that close to Nuke, for example, at least for them. But This year's been different, at least. They've been losing a couple of games there and there. They're not really maybe that dominant they were before, but they're still like one of the best teams on Nuke. And that's surprising to me, especially how much they're mixing with their map pool and actually taking Vertigo into play.
Yeah, it's really surprising because their playstyle now is very different than what it was in 2000. They're a little bit more scrimmy. They're a little bit more free to make plays as opposed to what they used to be when you watch them play on Nuke.
Well, we're going to be heading into Inferno very, very shortly. And obviously that is Fnatic's map pick. So, Chris, I'm going to start off with you. Who are you going to be siding with for this map?
I have to always side with my Swedes, you know.
You've got to do it.
Yeah, like, I know, like, I feel like I'm not sure with it, but at the same time, come on, I have to go all the way with them. They're my countrymen here, and if there's going to be a Sweden versus Denmark battle, I'm always going to go with the Swedes.
What about you, Sean? How are you feeling?
I think we're going to see the 2-0. I mean, we're getting some of the old school Astralis maps. I think Glaive and Xyp9x hold the B-bomb site better than almost anyone, and I think that's Fnatic's bread and butter is hitting that B site, so that's the matchup to look out for here.
Yep, I think I've got to agree. I've got to be siding with Astralis. But just speaking to you, Chris, what have Fnatic kind of got to do here? Obviously, they've just been dominated on Nuke by Astralis. Where do they come in, and what do they start doing differently?
I mean, it's basically what we were talking before with like people are not that experienced and young players when they have to be just like letting the map go. And they're all experienced. I'm not really afraid of that. And I think they're already a little bit upset with how the map went because they felt I think they felt some time there and there they were actually in the game, not really completely off. So going into Inferno, I want to see, you know, Fnatic at least, you know, trying to punish them on the B side, because like you were already saying, they love to go against B, but it's very hard to do it against Xyp9x and Glaive because they're really throwing their nades really good. They're always spamming through the smokes perfectly fine, it seems like. So I don't know, it's gonna be a tough task, but I have to always stay and believe, you know.
I actually do think Fnatic stands a very good chance of winning this map. It's very different feel than that EG Liquid series we saw earlier where Liquid blew them out the water in the first map. I think this first map, Fnatic had all those advantages I talked about, right? If they converted half of those, this game is much, much closer. And that's what they're saying right now in the backstage. They're saying, we should have played these this way. We should have played them more passively, more aggressively. And whatever it is, they're going to come back in the second map and they're going to be on the same page.
Well, we're going to take a look at our updated pinnacle odds for this map, which I'm quite interested to see because obviously this is Fnatic's map here, but it's still heavily, heavily favouring Astralis there. Pretty interesting to see that. But we'll be heading into the second map of this best of 3 very shortly. Make sure you stay tuned for that.
Delve deeper into the action with the ECS Premium Pass. Never miss iconic moments with access to all 10 player POVs through the Twitch Command Center, alongside the official ECS Observer. Keep up to date with the most detailed in-game statistics. Customize everything from your crosshair to the minimap, and join forces with other viewers to show support for your favorite players through our unique clapping feature. All Face It TV Twitch subscribers will gain access to the ultimate viewing experience. Subscribe now for just $4.99 a month and watch ECS your way.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's our second map of the Astralis Fnatic series on our first day here at ECS Season 8 Finals. I'm Machine, I'm joined by Henry G.
Hey there.
Hiya, and we've got ourselves a second map. Now, the devs just set the scene beautifully. A big thank you to Freya, Get Right, and of course, Sean Gares. But what I think has been the most discussed topic is that they have to forget about Nuke. Now, Nuke, of course, is in the past. It did go the way of Astralis, but the little caveat to add to that is it was Fnatic's map pick, which is, I think, the point Get Right was getting at, is that, you know, you really do just have to forget that that was even something you thought about, you felt like you could beat Astralis on. And now Inferno, normally Fnatic's map pick.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with this one. I feel like they can definitely bounce back here. Astralis look like they're in red hot form, but a map like Nuke, their T side, there's not many other teams out there that can perform on that level. They really have a full understanding of the map, but everyone knows how to play Inferno, Alex. So I feel like this one should be a lot more competitive. The only reason that scoreline got even close to that was the fact that JW, 1 versus 4 ace clutch, right? I don't think that's going to be sustainable going forward, but it bodes well for his performance going into Inferno. We have the knife round as usual here. Not a big deal on Inferno, but every team would choose to start on the CT side, I suppose. And it looks like it will be Astralis to pick things up here. It comes down to a little 2-on-1 there. Zipex to clutch things out as usual. And we'll see the Astralis side on the CT side. They always have a huddle before the game starts. We both said Astralis 2-0 going into this one. I guess you can't really be persuaded otherwise after that first map, right?
No, I mean, it was more of a comment on Astralis' form than it was that of Fnatic. I expect this game to be much closer than Nuke. I think Fnatic have got a lot to be said for them and their Inferno. They perhaps were willing to pick it because they knew that whatever they didn't pick, Astralis would respond with, because it's Nuke and Inferno are Fnatic's go-to maps at the moment as they're in their map pool. So they've been given what they wanted. It's now just a question of being able to put some money where their mouth is and be able to take down the squad. You can see having their team talk there. Dupree looks like to be doing the talking. Zonic, of course, will be chiming in throughout. Be sure to grab his book, support the esports publication. That is if you could speak Danish.
Yeah,
otherwise, don't do that.
It'd be a nice doorstop, I suppose, otherwise.
Yeah, or a Duolingo and have a go. Get the highlighter out.
Yeah, get the Google Translate out. Just take a picture of each page.
By page.
Go, right, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. You're reading it and it's just, have you ever tried to do that? It never quite works.
Only on menus.
Oh, yeah, I've been doing it on recipes.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff you been cooking? You have to go for translation on it.
I was on a Dutch. When I lived in Amsterdam, I was on a Dutch to English menu.
What were you cooking?
Lots of things. It was like, when they send you all the ingredients and you just have to
one
put
of
it
those
together.
things.
It's like Lego food. Yeah.
Yeah, I always saw those things. I always just like, that doesn't really, I might as well order Uber Eats at this point, because at this stage they're bringing everything pre-prepared, pre-chopped, everything good to go. You chuck it in the pan and just like, am I really doing much here at all?
Give me some credit. I'm chopped the vegetables at least.
They don't chop the vegetables for you. I thought they'd just send you like little bowls of everything ready to go, and you're just like, I'm cooking.
I agree.
Throwing it in.
Cooking. No, I agree. It's a little lazy, and I'm acknowledging that. But it was an endeavour to start cooking for myself more. And
how's that gone for you? So I live you now. I see a couple of pasta pestos in the mix. I see a few cereals.
Greek salad I'll dabble in.
I see some chicken fajitas every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm not much of a chef. I'll acknowledge that. And
I gave up on that a long time ago. I was like, you know what? Calling. This delivery every single time. Make sure it's a good one. Try and make it well-rounded. You know.
I mean, you're a relatively, I don't want to say skinny. You're a relatively well-maintained man. How do you get away with that?
More genetics than anything.
Okay.
Just lucky that my metabolism's insane. I can eat whatever I want, and not really much happens. But
that's still going. I knew kids at school like that. I was like, I can't wait until they're like 31, and then they'll be a blob. And now you're sitting here at 31.
It's definitely not as easy as it used to be. I do have to work out a couple of times a week now.
Phew.
But overall, Uber Eats every day, just kind of living that lifestyle.
Or any other delivery platform.
All other platforms are available. Should make that very clear. No sponsored segment here. This is not a sponsor at all. Just something I like to do, which is fine, I think.
Do you think we could be the first commentators to have like a secret sponsor? We don't tell anyone about. We just keep talking. Like when we're talking about delivery, we always use Uber Eats.
In every broadcast. Exactly. Just like, you know what?
Yeah.
When I'm eating food, I normally order this.
Yeah. Oh, and JW delivers. As does Uber Eats. Use the code machine. No. Anyway, let's get into the action. It does look like it's time for Inferno. So take a seat, sit back, relax, and listen to the dulcet tones of Machine and Henry G and Astralis and Fnatic shooting at each other at the moment. First blood drawn, its device to start things off.
Oh, a cheeky P250. Always difficult to contain on the T side. You got two of those for Astralis here, and Broline taking matters into his own hands here, but Zipex, he seems very aware of the possibility of a flank, but he can't avoid the bullets there. That's exactly what they needed on the CT side, but it is going to be the cue to commit towards B. It's going to funnel them towards his side of the map, and in terms of utility, one smoke, make it two. That's going to be deployed already. Device will steal another kill away, and two CT CTs waiting towards a spawn position. Boosting up, though. Crims, will he be detected? I think he's got a couple of kills in the play. If he goes up now, first should be his, no problem. Just needs to pull the trigger, and it looks like the second comes through as well. They didn't anticipate that whatsoever.
I loved the restraint from Crims. He gave it a full extra 2 seconds just to make sure that that first frag onto device was neat and tidy. It wouldn't have taken much for that armored P250 to just turn around and one bang. So takes his time and secures the round. Lovely work from the CT side to start things off. An armored CZ on Brolin, by the way. We didn't get to see that necessarily pay off, but an interesting investment all the same.
And he's playing apartments, right? If ever you're going to use that weapon, it's always going to be boiler towards apartments. I didn't notice he had armor there. That's quite interesting, and it works out for them. They lost the first pick. He pushes those apartments and manages to take down Zipex. And at that point, it had to be a B play from Astralis, and they could not break through the defense. Full eco coming out with rifles coming out in the third here, and we'll see a couple, make it 3 rifles in total. So Fnatic ready and waiting for that prospect. They know the bomb hasn't been planted, so it makes sense that they'll be the buy into the next round. You want to make sure you have the firepower to actually give yourself a fighting chance there. We've seen some crazy things recently. We've seen like CT side Inferno go 5 MP9s in this round. I don't know why you would ever do that, but that seems to be a bit of a trend right at this point, which has not been paying off whatsoever.
No, we definitely did, and it didn't almost feel like there was any justification for it. It's always a good reason to have a rifle or two in play, and well, you're seeing why. Long line held by Golden, doesn't quite manage to finish it off, but the nade will tickle his comrade down to 36. Magisk gonna have to work with a little bit of health. They'll be throwing around, faffing around with their pistols, putting it to the healthy members, but for Astralis, they just want to draw out any additional CT utility, and nice fragging actually. JW just with the P250, undaunted, and gets a good connection onto Glaive. Leaping around the corner, put $600 in the pocket of Flusher, and he may not be stopping there. Looking to 1,200, and there's another one. 3 quick frags with the SMG as he starts farming some cash and puts the second on the board for Fnatic. Now it's time for the buy, though. Henry, you said it was coming. Now it's time to see how it fares.
Absolutely true. Should be a mixture of Galils and AKs here, depending on whether they want the utility or not. We'll have a look as the AKs come through. It's 5 AK-47s right now. I mean, there'll be a couple of holes to plug. They might not have all the flashbangs they need, for example, but it looks like it's fine overall. They at least have 5 smokes. Only the 1 Molotov, though, an HE for Glaive instead of the flashes. And we head into what could be their first run on the board here up against the FAMAS's MP9s. And JW has got the sniper out, but he takes a bullet to the leg to kick things off here. All the flames are taking maintenance now for sure. He tries to get a quick kill before he's dropped. He knew he was in trouble there. And at this stage, it is going to be the opening frag on a very difficult situation for Fnatic. Can they hold on to it? Looks like they absolutely can. Firing off through the smoke. It's Flusher with 2 kills to his name, a 5-on-2 overall, and that should be the round, no question about it.
Horrible way for Magis to go there. The molly just spreading just in the last spread.
Thought you were safe. Oh no.
Oh. Definitely want to make sure that you have that molly spreading there in that corner every single time as a professional. Want to double check it. Check your lineup, check your throw. Oh, and that sporadic spray does tag up Zipex, so he's got 28 now for what looks to be an impossible situation for the two of them. There is 60 seconds still on the clock, and the bomb's well within their reach if they want it. It will be retrieved now. They'll put on the low HP player, and it's going to be basically Dupree playing this like a clutch, a chance for Zipex to perhaps get the information, be the scout of the party. Let's find out. 30 seconds.
Yeah, they'll do well to even get close to this bomb site. I like the double stack towards new boxes. We saw that earlier today. We'll see whether it works out once again. Even if they get the first kill, you just wouldn't anticipate a second player there. So I feel like this should be Fnatic closing things out. Probably just dropping 1 kill and then the second just to deny the plan and close things out, especially with just such little time remaining. We might not even get to that point. Dupree stranded, isolated, and now taken out. It's going to be a clean sweep on a difficult buy there for Fnatic. They took matters into their own hands towards Banana, pushing down there, getting stuck in, finding a couple of kills with the smoke as well. That always works out. And we'll have a look at the replay now. You can see those river of flames deployed towards the bottom. I assume May just didn't have the smoke to actually extinguish them. Spots one, and then Flusher continues to fire off and takes down Device as well. 3-0, much more like it for Fnatic.
Yeah, this is a flying start. Looks like it's going to be the 4-0 as well, unless these Armored Deagles find their early connections. Starting to nurture quite the nice bank as well very early into this CT piece for Fnatic. Oh, that nade. Just as Dupree arrives in the apartments, he's softened up, and he's going to make no secret of his early presence there as he does take the fight from Boiler. completely unchecked on Archer. And I think Zipex was trying to use the element of surprise. But Flusher, he's wise. A very close angle held by Zipex. He did get an opportunity, but instead he's just going to be dancing around. Flusher looking for more and more information. They are heading towards B with that bomb, or at least that was the initial thought. Quite an interesting spread here, Hank. You've got 3 around the banana T-ramp area and 2 through CT Arch.
Yeah, but there's no panic, at least from the CT side. They know they're in a compromised position here, but they're up against Deagles. They've confirmed that. Luckily for them as well, a couple of players have our helmets. There's a unarmored glaive as well. Boost comes through. Mages with the first, but Flusher aware of the boost. He knows that means there's at least 2 players in that position. Man advantage still lies with the Swedes. And at this stage, that should be round. 35 seconds remaining. The bombs towards Banana. We do still have one sneaky player towards Spawn. That's going to be Zipex, but not really much he can do about this one, I'm afraid, as the damage is inflicted. Just a matter of time as a decent flashbang comes through. Flusher with a challenge off that. Golden does find the player towards CT. He needs to make sure he stays alive here. That's enough. Just need to make sure he closes this one out. And there we have it. No problem at all. Even after losing the first pick, yes, it was a difficult position to be in, but with just the Deagles there, if you don't give them any opportunities, it's not like they can really capitalize upon that.
They didn't panic and start like trying to fill that gap,
or rotate as well. So sure, you notice they had 2 players in spawn, but they're waiting for rotations. They're digging themselves in to make sure they can actually take advantage of the fact they've got control of CT spawn. But until they're committed towards a bomb site, rotations aren't really required. You're probably just going to walk into a crossfire.
It works out exactly as it should for Fnatic. 4 then to 0. See how long they can keep this untarnished record. Floor of Flame and some nades as well, but not too much pain. Device just catching a little bit of shrapnel in his earlobe, brings him down to 94. Another one this time into his left toe, down to 81. A 4-man stack here for the CTs. They put full faith in Golden for his initial hold.
Yeah, similar to what we saw from Stewie before on Liquids. He's often left alone towards the B site. As long as he's set up at the start and you give him a smoke and he can just fend off and call it's not a full commitment at the start of the round, they'll be happy just to hold that position, especially with the weapons like an AK-47 in hand. Holding towards coffins, just trying to push them back and delay the final commitment towards B means you can have a very strong A side of the map. But unfortunately for Fnatic, it will be a B finish by the looks of things here, and Golden needs to be aware of it. He's deployed everything he's got at this point. He's got 67 HP. He needs a rotation like right now, and JW is trying to bring that through. That's the shot that had to connect, and unfortunately for him, it does not. Open B sides here. JW, unless he gets a quick kill and someone vaulting up to the first oranges, like, it might be worth considering a save, at least at this point. With that Molotov going down, denying access towards ruins, I think that has to be the call, and they're already doing it.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and just try again. So Astralis, they find their first on the T side of Inferno, and it's all through smoke and mirrors.
Absolutely true. It's not bad at all. Only 1 kill required means you called a perfect round at that stage. So yeah, it's definitely a risk to have 1 player towards B. Ideally, wouldn't be that exposed, shouldn't be able to be pre-fired like that. You want to be ducking and weaving a bit more, kind of just taking the fire and stopping them coming through. If you go down with a clean headshot like that, sure, it's unlucky. They just hit a nice shot. But overall, like, you're hoping he can at least put up a bit of resistance.
But I'm noticing that you mentioned, you know, Coffin, CT. You still want that solo player holding some sort of a relatively quote-unquote aggressive line, right?
Exactly. Until the smokes are deployed and you kind of feel like it's a final commitment, you want to be playing angles where you're actually still challenging. You don't want him to get past the choke point at the corner.
Like if you're sitting new box, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, exactly, because at that point they're already in. They're going to swing on you and trade. Those positions like Coffins, they can't really trade on. You can get 1 quick kill, they can Molotov you, they can smoke you. You're just going for 1 kill, dig yourself into ruins, and at least the retake's possible at that point. And that was a great call from Fnatic. That happens sometimes. They're going to hit their shots, you know. It's unfortunate. And instead of throwing your money away and trying to go for an impossible retake, you've got tons of cash right now. Let's maintain that. Let's not give it away. We've got AKs here. We've got the AWP for JW. Let's keep that money healthy. And very early on in the game, good to see them delivering on that front. Astralis, nowhere near as established here. They'll have 5 AKs once again as they make their way towards middle, dodging the bullets of JW.
Yeah, they're already up Arch. This time with rifles, though. Let's not forget they previously did manufacture this gap, but it was with the pistols. Now they've managed to get the same control. But oh, look at this. They take all of that control. They pull 2 CTs over and then just pull out. Now, I hope you guys are educated. Pulling out typically not the method of choice, But it's worked out this time.
Not the safest method,
It's
that's
certainly
for sure.
not safe.
Let me
Golden,
tell you.
he's not probably not safe either. Flash is flying in. Golden, he's going to just have one little taste, one bullet before he meets his demise. Now on the cross, there is a gap, and so safe for now. They could rotate in, and they will. Crims from Coffins tagging up. Just gets low, as is Device, but the frag's still going Astralis' way. 3 remain for Fnatic in the boost. It couldn't be better time. They can't find the transfer. And now Astralis, they're just winning the numbers game.
How many CTs are on this side of the map? Good lord, they're coming out every crevice of the bomb site. Flush is still there. I don't think Zipex has any idea, so they're going to fall back, but still, Zipex, that's enough to win the round. That's a pretty godlike play. So that's the mid-round calls I'm talking about, Alex. We discussed this on New Cry. Astralis always know when things feel a bit hot under the collar, things aren't exactly comfortable. Let's just move back. We've got plenty of time remaining. Let's just stay together as a group. We've already forced a load of rotations here. That's evident from the battles that are happening on the bomb side right now. Fall back. At most, there's one player there. We're going to send a Wolfpack at 3 up to that position. But there's a shot. Apparently not. Majestic is ready and waiting. And we're going to see 2 rounds in a row for Astralis. But remember, the round before they saved 3, making 4 guns, I think. So they should have enough to buy into the next round. But here's Majestic leading the charge here towards B. Golden not working exactly in tandem with his teammate there. And Crims, he was dropped as well. But it felt like they had absolutely everyone on this side of the map. The boost came in once more. This time not as successful. Good for 1 frag. Zipex was left there while his teammates rotated back towards A. Had he been taken down early, maybe there was a chance, but he got the all-important frag there. And it will be 4-2 with the last buy coming from Fnatic if they give this one up.
Well, it looks like we've got a game of Counter-Strike here, Hank.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many close ones today. See whether this one can deliver.
In fact, Astralis were on the receiving end of another close game. They did manage to win it in the end. That's the reason they're here. But Sharks, a full 30 rounds against Astralis.
Flasher feeling himself in that one. The solo push down B with Flash over the top, to be fair, but he meets his demise. Quick headshot comes through, and we go into a 5-on-4. Really not what you want at the start of a round when you're just about to be broken as well. All of your big names taken down. There was an incendiary at the bottom, but not really much behind it.
Yeah, now the man who got the frag gets to pull the strings of the remainder of this round. Glaive. 2 rounds back-to-back where the calls have got Astralis going into the site with a significant advantage. Golden twice on B, caught out after early A presence was presented, as much as a deep smoke library and full arch control. And that's at the moment where you see Crims and Golden reside. Brolin tucked in on the site itself. Apps has been rather non-factor so far here in the first couple of rounds of play. Speaking of, Device now finds himself there. Golden on the rotate, so it will be a 2-2 split for the CTs. Towards B they go. Let's see if the early contact, this time it's JW to take it. And now Golden with the support had a chance. A low HP Magis does get caught out despite the warning shots being fired. And there's more where that came from. Another. Golden eventually goes down, but the dirty work has been done. And with 10 seconds left, Zipex is going to have to present himself like a sitting duck if he wants to get that bomb in on time. Instead, realizes there's no way he's winning that one. JW still lurks around, and instead they're going to look to keep hold of those rifles into the next.
It's a very decent round there from Fnatic, all things considered. They lost that first pick as well with the overzealous approach from Flusher, perhaps. They go into a 5-on-4, but well held, managing to fend off the B commitment there towards the end. Here's Glaive looking for any shots he can for the smoke. You do like to see that. So Flusher, okay, to be fair, we thought he was running down by himself, and it looked a little bit silly from his POV, but he couldn't do much about that, right? That's just cleanly through the smoke with the M4. Pretty ridiculous scenes here. Golden, low HP players in front of him, manages to pick up the pieces there. Dupree looking a little bit exasperated with the entire situation.
I swear, he does that every time you cut to a Dupree cam.
13-0
Yeah,
up.
they're like 13-0 up, and he's died early, just rolling his eyes, slamming the desk, punching the screen.
Yeah, we haven't seen much desk slamming in a while.
No, that's
back
true.
in the day, we used to have players like, even in 2016, I think we had players smashing desks, and we had to bring in desk substitutions. We had to have like 4 desks waiting backstage just in case a hole was punched through them and stuff.
Yeah, it was when it was like that super cheap IKEA ones.
Yeah, that's
where
right.
you can actually just straight up just put your fist through.
They're like paper mache
They are like
desks.
paper mache desks. Yeah, exactly. So 5-2 is your scoreline if you have just joined us. This is our second map, so just keeping you on track.
It's always good to do so. Everyone likes to know where they are in the world. Right now, we're watching this. They're 1 map down, but they're back in. They're back into the game itself.
Yeah. And a missed shot from JW. Quick one from him, though. Knew if he overstayed his welcome, it could cost him, and so... At the moment, despite all of these nades and AWP shots, not a single player has been too badly wounded. Bit of early and significant damage dealt to both. Quite a quick early round smoke actually from Crims towards the arch side, so that does give Astralis some options should they want to go towards the quad. The crossfire there. And somewhat of a stalemate before the mid-round really kicks off.
Yeah, focusing towards middle, Molotov towards a trash position. We have got one player tucked away, that's Crims. Now, will they check this considering they've dropped a Molotov in that position? The bait comes through as well. He falls back.
Why does it always feel so stressful for the CTs on this T side versus Astralis? At this point, they now have full control of middle, but will they commit? We've yet to see them do that. They'll take this, they'll get you scared, and at the moment, it's being absolutely laughed off by the Swedes. Great catch by JW onto Dupree. Now Zipex fires off a warning shot. He knows he doesn't want to walk into that crossfire. There's two T's there. He's still alive somehow. Does have to worry about two different angles of assault. Finally tagged up, not fragged up, and he's got another one! JW, the Live Lord!
He does them dirty. Oh my goodness, it looked like he was absolutely done for there, but still, it's a 3 versus 1. JW still alive and kicking. I think he's done enough here. All he can do is the fake plant and the best here. Could have got the double kill, but still would have lost the round by virtue of the clock there. Very impressive scenes from JW. You could see him looking around. He knew there was a chance that Pinto was coming through that smoke. He was 180ing. He can't believe his luck. And then still, through the flames, the incandescence doesn't block his vision whatsoever. Scrim's getting the first kill, but JW stole the show here. How he stays alive this amount of time, I couldn't tell you. Looks like they're about to trade him out. Misses that shot, but then nails this one. Boom. That's all wins around just there.
Yeah, I mean, Device gets that frag, the bomb goes down, and you've got an awkward retake. It was all on that frag, and JW delivered.
Well, that certainly throws a spanner into the works. We'll see if Astralis even have the cash to buy into this next round. 3,800 on Zipex, actually. Glaive with less than that. They're going to get 3 AKs for now, purchasing what they can with the utility. Galil going to be playing. You'll see more and more of that as time goes on.
I think it will be similar to that of the Krieg and the Org in terms of just players getting comfortable with the rifle in a stronger capacity. If it is as good as it could be, you know, as people are saying, it's still going to take some time before you're truly willing to bring that into these full rifle rounds.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and now a little bit more powerful as well. We'll see where we can see some historic moments made with that weapon this tournament. Either way, Fnatic can see why they picked this map. It's looking much better for them compared to Nuke. He's exchanged the start. Once again, Flushing coming on top. He is not scared to push that position whatsoever, as he's happy to play those duels every single round. This time coming out on top once again. And they've got one player tied up in towards that Logs position here. Are they aware of it, though? They are segregating with the smokes. But for now, they've got the man advantage, right? They don't necessarily have to push any further. They don't need that full control. Let him survive and just fall back into the crossfires.
Speaking of, look at this setup from Fnatic. Brolin watching Apps close those, enable him to swing, and he's playing like essentially anti-flash from those mid-flashes. It's really quite a nice little setup, boosting on B's side as well. So when that smoke arrives, what's Flush's protocol? Does he push ahead of it? He does try and put up a couple of warning shots before the flash arrives, and there's more where that came from. Now, this looks like the full commit smoke arrived. Oh no! Golden, he had his opportunity, but Glaive, as close to the wall as he possibly could. It's a hard adjustment to make, and so a 4v4. This is a potential retake. They're thinking about it.
Yeah, there's certainly a chance of it being a 4-on-4. You've already got a player towards Ruins as well, so you haven't been completely locked out, so you might as well see what's available to you at least, especially with the smoke and the incendiary available there as well. Good damage done towards Glaive in that well position. They're going for this one, I would say. Smoke down, though. That does make things a little bit more problematic. This kill was everything. That would probably be the cue at this stage to fall back.
Can they get out, though? I imagine Astralis are going to start throwing some serious bullets. They do have a smoke, but can't wait for the 4 players shooting through it. Yeah, we knew it was coming. And those warning shots are even pushing through it. They're expecting the run, so was JW. And by doing so, he may very well be able to save this AWP. This could come back. This could be a factor into those next rounds. Lovely work from J-Dubs.
He is on one right now, isn't he? He's really feeling it.
He's just in tune with the game.
Yeah, that clutch he had on Nuke earlier, like he couldn't have played that any better. There's every move he made, they had no idea that it was so perfect.
It was like he was playing with X-Ray on, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
When someone's playing that well, it does look like that.
Yeah, good pre-fire on the boost this time. It was the boost that eluded them in the pistol, actually, where Crims managed to get some frags, and Glaive made sure that same mistake didn't happen twice. It's 6-3 now, and money finally starting to be broken down on the Swedish side of things. You see, got 1 CZ, a couple of MP9s. They still have a JW orb with seems to be landing every single shot right now, so I'm sure he'll be a little bit more active than usual, just trying to open things up.
Yeah, it looked like he was considering a late mid peak and no one there to provide. Oh, he's got the right idea. He's got the information at least. No connection though. To bring up Boiler, they have that call. Crims with just an MP9 for that responsibility though.
Yeah, and he's fired off some shots as well, so they know there's lesser weaponry on the east side of the map, and is that a bait? Could the AWP be there as well? They're not sure. But they have got full banana control at least. They just boosted up on the half. All good position to be in. Means that if you do get flash, you can fall straight back. I don't mind that from JW. Had to try and make something work there. Glaive patrolling the AWP, making sure that can't be picked up, and he might as well do so. If they get that weapon, there's a chance they pull it back. But for now, everything calms down. Ideally, want to get that device sniper on board, get it active. It's there, ready to be picked up, but against the pistols and MP9s might not be the best option.
Yeah, this just looks like Astralis picking up their fourth, though. Fnatic, they're so up against it. No utilities to be seen apart from the Brolin rifle. He's the only one set up to provide some help, and he's in pit right now. So Crim's going to be the first contact. That's a good start. And now the Molotov is deployed. It does let Brolin focus his attention on Apps, albeit temporarily. A smoke to play around as well. Oh, they're coming in from all directions. He has no help from his teammate either. Glaive can just go on the hunt. Brolin does manage to catch one before falling, and now in the smoke, he can thrive! Does find an AK, he's still alive, and now the spray! Flusher with a quick 2K puts him in the driving seat, all onto Glaive for the 1v2.
Oh, they've done it. That's enough.
10 seconds, there's no way.
Yeah, even if he gets his one kill, it's not going to happen for him, and there it is. It's Fnatic pulling back the round. Flusher does it again. They keep finding these tiny windows of opportunity, just leaping through them.
God, with the smoke around the site, it could have been even a neat and tidy 2 with the CZ, but the fact that he even manages to handle the chaos, pick up a rifle, you'll see. They did so much with that. Great work from Brolin. He was delaying, doing everything he possibly could, getting his utility out, surviving, but 3 from Flusher in the end of that, and that puts 7 now on Fnatic's CT side.
That's remarkable. As soon as he gets the AK out as well, I was like, yeah, he's done.
Yep.
That's enough.
Bye.
Well, I assume this is the pretty much full investment coming in from Astralis now. We'll bring up that cash and see what they're sat at. And, oh, they've still got our 2 grand, so we're okay. So this is going to be a buy for the next round. AK's not available, just a Galil. CZ's there as well. And we'll see Zipex making his way up towards quad. An opening found, JW Dink as well. There's actually a lot to be said about this round, Alex. They're going to steal one back as well through the smoke. What is going on today? It's an absolute circus of Counter-Strike. All the tricks being displayed here.
Yeah, I mean, that was Astralis straight up just on their unicycles into air, wasn't it?
It's very impressive, I have to say.
That works. Glaive through the smoke, no less. And actually, Golden, he's making a good go of this. He's got 3 kills. He's managed to keep Astralis honest at the very least. But still, they managed to, whilst going for a reasonable buy, they didn't invest fully, keeping themselves at that 2K mark and still managing to pull the round away. We'll see how that started. Matches with that Galil.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, he seems pretty spicy, the Galil. It's not going to lie to you. That was pretty impressive, and that maybe even more so. Glaive with the Deagle kill, then, of course, the FAMAS spray. It's going to be 7-4. They give back the favor of financial ruin to the CTs now, and that could be a great chance for them to even come back and win this half. They're 7-4 down now. I don't think you can justify a buy on the CD side. It'd be a forced
even if they're
buy.
both on 1400?
Oh, I didn't catch that. Let's have a look. No, because you've got 3 players there that can buy next round, right? They've
you
got
just respect that.
3rd stage loss bonus right now. So, yeah, I feel like they're going to have to
eco it out, yeah.
Oh, no, it's 1st stage loss bonus. Maybe you're right. Round loss money, 1,400. That means they get 1,900 on top of what they have right now. So there would be a buy on the 3 players next rounds if you took a full eco here.
They're going for it.
But yeah, like you got those other 2 players that won't be able to do anything. But this is still, it's such a dicey one. Like if you're gonna make this round work, you're either going to be stacking somewhere, you could be getting aggressive. So everyone's fully invested. You can see 3 pistols, 1 MP9. The CZ as well, so 4 pistols. But
oh god, what do you do with this? I mean, you've got the utility. They chose utility over firepower.
Well, that's the most important thing about Inferno. It's you want to treat these like gun rounds. You're just looking to whittle down the clock if possible. You know, you're dropping the smokes, not the start of the round when you feel like there's presence and a chance they could be trying to go for map control here. So Glaive, he actually gives up a bit of information there. The fact he touches the flames there, that's a sound cue. It's audible to the CTs here, but they're going to hold on as long as they possibly can to those all-important smokes. They want to drop those as the final commitment comes in. Like ideally around 40, 35 seconds, that's when you want to be dropping those smokes in.
Yeah, and with the first bit of T utility flying in, so does the CTs. But what is that smoke? Neither is that. Neither has actually been particularly effective. The second, significantly better than the former. And it does draw out a lot of utility. 2 smokes still in play for Fnatic. 60 seconds on the clock. This one will be fading around the 50 mark. And back towards A they go. They still have the Fnatic 3 hold. And, well, they passed the test. That was enough to at least send them packing. Time for the other side of the map. And it does look like a lead through apps. Oh, I don't know if Brolin's going to be expecting something like this. He's even leaving. That's how quiet it's been. Astralis completely repositioned. Is he rotating off? He is. Crim's going to get caught, and now here it comes. A wave that Brolin is absolutely, completely caught out of and off guard. This will be around for Astralis without necessarily having to sweat too hard. Now, Fnatic, this was a gamble. I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
Hasn't paid off.
It was another pick your poison sort of moment that, like, there weren't many options. The $1,400 loss bonus coming in. They would have had a buy going to the next round, but they certainly don't anymore. They got to save these CZs, BD50s, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. 2 players go down, just leaving 1 remaining. That's Flusher, who's already been tagged, so I dare say they know where he is. Device certainly does, and there it is. It has to be the eco going forward now for Fnatic as they go still 7-5 up, but looking very likely to be 7-6 momentarily. AKs across the board here. 1 Galil for good measure on the T side, and shouldn't be much to report here. When you're on your full ecos on the CT side of Inferno, your options are stack mid or stack B, or try and bring a default out, I guess, with a couple of smokes. But there's a flash suggests they'll be pouncing maybe towards the top of middle after stacking it, or top of B. It looks like it's the latter. So those way outside the B bomb site at the top here. When they feel like there's players at the top, they flash over and hope for the best.
Okay, well, it's all they can do, and the nades will be I didn't quite anticipate that one. I was going to say avoided. Not the case. Instead, JW bleeding and cowering in the corner. There's the flash, and this is a frag, but that's only the one. Now Device on the other side of that half wall. That rifle won't be retrievable necessarily if the dink comes in. He's got 10 HP before the spray comes in, but there we go. 2 rifles recovered. It's gone all right.
Yeah, as we said, that's the pound setup there. It actually works out pretty effectively. Round should be done considering Dupree's position, but overall that wasn't bad. He got 2 kills, maybe a third here, but they're just going to try and hold on to the rifles at this point by the looks of things. They know the bomb's going to head towards the A site. They're locked in, and Dupree, he doesn't want to give up another AK here. Just hold on to what you have, and you'll see this is much needed on the CD side to hold on to these weapons if possible. Might not be the case though. JW is dropped by Dupree, who was waiting in towards that CD spawn position. Flusher now. Galil, he's one of the players with a little bit more cash, 2,400 out of 46 into the next round. So, sure, it was a relatively successful round. Could have got a little bit more chaotic if they took down Device after only 1 kill, perhaps, but he managed to go for the full commitment, get 2, and that's why I said, okay, that will do. Like, it certainly wasn't the prettiest, but he secured the round with those 2 frags.
And now it's time to see if Fnatic can get off this 7. It has been plaguing them for a while. Astralis stringing together, I think, 3 now, if I'm keeping track. You can see there at the top, yeah. 3 rounds back-to-back from Astralis. So 7-3 now completely leveled by the Danes on their attack, keeping this competitive. Time for the nade exchange. So many going to be thrown into one very small part of the map. And the outcome so far, no bloodshed. But still a bit of shrapnel lodged in Magisk and Glaive. Got around the 50 mark for the next 90 seconds of play.
All very tense now. This is a big round. Fnatic had full control of this first half. As their pick, it felt like they were running away with it, but Astralis, you might have them down, but they're never out. Mid control is theirs. You can see they just don't have the resources to challenge that mid position on the CT side. 3 M4s, an MP9 and a FAMAS. They've done a lot more with a lot less in the past. Flash is over. Might not necessarily be the final commitment here. Just waiting to see if this provokes any sort of reaction on the CT side.
That T-smoke that lands on the front of A site is
There we go.
brutal.
Towards spawn. That makes so much sense. You can see they've actually got full control of that side of the map with device position. I don't know how he makes that one work, but Flasher with the MP9, maybe 1 for 2, not quite. And now Golden. He is in a very precarious position. The FAMAS, Molotov down, gets one. That's more than what he was worth.
He even dicked Dupree, to be honest. I mean, like, that's, dream. And now, possible. 2 flashes on Brolin, and they are all grouped up and relatively quick to the site. So, let's see how they choose to structure this one.
Oh, it's so strong from Astralis here. 1 Coffins, 1 first Oranges. Like, you're going to have to be very quick-witted to rattle this one off his perch, because I'm not sure it's possible. Oh my God, it is.
What is that from Matches?
See what I mean? Like, that's just not a position you're looking at. You've got like 5 different angles to check at that point. The boost on first orange is the last one you expect. Because traditionally, they're coming from CT spawn, right? 1 versus 1, not going to happen. It was a decent effort. The fact they got a few kills there, but it felt like that was such a done deal for Astralis overall. Very well played, and what a great call again. The mid rounds, Alex, I can't explain enough how good that was. They've gone through the motions of getting the mid control. They pushed the CDs back. They've got no vision there. They've also got banana control. So they've got the whole map open to them in that respect. They go through Arch, they trade out 1 kill, and then they have 1 player just waiting to go in towards B. Take down Golden. He's painted into a corner there. It's just a done deal. Like, there's nothing you can do. Sure, it's a 3 versus 3 post plan, but with that sort of time and control towards CT spawn, there was just no chance. They could just set up way too effectively towards the first Orange's position. And speaking of effectiveness, that's going to be JW. Of course, just finding the head of the first, which didn't look like any problem whatsoever.
Yeah, he just is so nonchalant. And what a great shot. Glaive then will be observing for the rest of this round as this, actually a very aggressive push. Device will punish Flusher for that aggression. Understandable, justifiable, certainly with his SMG sacrifice. He wanted to try and get close quarters, perhaps tuck himself into the logs, the very logs that Device was using. And it was a risk and not going to be paying off today. So 70 seconds. Banana being held solo, and another SMG going walkabouts straight into the crosshairs of the Danes. Dupree. JW, however, gets the timing on Zipex. He's doing it all right now and gracefully bounces his way back onto A. They're going to commit to this one. JW with just a scout. What could you do? He's actually tagged another. He's trying his hardest.
He did what he could there, Alex. That's more than enough, considering the context of what was going on right there. It looks like clean finish here, but Device, it looked like Fnatic had this half in the palm of their hand. They won the pistol. They had a great start. They were 4-0 up, but some way, somehow, it's Astralis with 6 rounds in a row towards the end, managing to get an 8-7 scoreline. They've already picked up Nuke, and Inferno is looking very good for them as well. Can they keep this up? Can Fnatic respond? You have to find out after this break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
It was 6 rounds in a row to end out the first half of our second map of our final series here at ECS Season 8 Finals. We're live from Arlington, Texas. It's Machine and Henry G bringing you the action, and Astralis' second half of their first half was quite a spur, and it really seems to have convinced Henry.
Yeah, I'm really a big fan of Astralis. They've been playing some great Counter-Strike for the longest amount of time at this point and continue to deliver and evolve as a squad. They're in a great spot here, but still, it's anyone's game at 8-7, and Zipex, he's looking to apply the pressure with that 5-7. He's surely going to go down. You have got 20 bullets there, but it doesn't lead into a kill. And at this point, pressure applied to Mages. Can he find a frag? He certainly can. Low HP players in front of him as well, but it's not enough. Oh my goodness, there's so many players there, but that should be the round concluded here. Certainly is now. 4-on-1 Dupree isolated behind the smoke. It was a nice idea there with the rush to 5-7, just trying to suggest this is all we've got here. You've got 2 players ready and waiting at the top, but unless he gets that first kill and does considerable damage, it's not going to work out at all. And it'll be Fnatic to tie things up at 8-8 now. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's a dream start. The game plan from Astralis didn't quite work out in their favor, despite being grounded in reality. You see that again from JW. He waited a long time. He was kind of waiting for Zipex's mag to get a little slim before he actually revealed his location.
No, I love that on Inferno, especially the 5-7. Like, in terms of spam potential, it's so good compared to the USP. Close range USP is very difficult to manage. You can't really spam with it. You have to be very precise for your shots. 5-7, you can unleash that, baby. You can give him hell. But doesn't really work out on that round. But that's why you see the CZ and 5-7 purges on the CT side of Inferno for those sort of encounters.
And a whole lot, actually. You can see 2 more. Dupree and Glaive both clearly have been playing their aimbots with the 5-7, decided it is their new weapon of choice.
Yeah, it's come back into fashion recently. It was nerfed. Like, it wasn't necessarily nerfed, it was a change. It's like, it required a few more taps than before, but still a very viable weapon, and one I'm a big fan of. $500, you get that and a smoke as well and a pistol round. It's nuts.
Can be very, very potent. Glaive manages to tuck himself around the corner before that HG arrives, and ooh, Dupree has arrived in the kill feed. That is a weapon delivered as well, should they be able to pick that one up off the floor.
Good smoke.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for more, actually. And was that just... It was.
I like that. I could feel, I wanted to say that. Like, Grims is just baiting out the fact he's unloaded everything. He's going to leave like 5 bullets there and fire again. That's exactly what he did. And it works out perfectly. That's such a good feeling. That
was a nice feeling. And that was, the point I was trying to make was that was Device throwing that smoke and then looking to rotate back over. But with the loss of his teammate, they have opted for the 2-2 split. Given how little information they have, bomb to be retrieved by Flusher around that 40-second mark. So now what is the call? You can see that bomb is grouped towards middle. And oh, you can't fake B if Glaive's got that frag, especially if he pushes through that smoke now. He has. They've got all the information they could possibly desire. He's charging down Banana. 25 seconds into the side they go. Just one for Crims as Matt just nearly finding a double with the Deagle. Brolin, though, ready and willing to take the fight early on that rotate, which puts it all onto Glaive. He has 1 kill to his name and full health and armor, but with 5-7, he's ready and willing to take the fight, starts chipping at the hips. It's not quite enough, and so 9 for Fnatic.
Absolutely true, Alex. So there we have it. In terms of the finances, that was the force buy with the 5-7s, the CZs coming through, a couple of Deagles thrown in for good measure as well. They managed to get the opening couple of frags there, but the smoke down and Crims finding the spam through it, that was a catalyst to success for Fnatic. They've forced Astralis now to pretty much a full eco. Maybe a 1 flashbang, a similar mentality to what we saw from Fnatic in the first half, but no, I don't think a single dollar has been invested here. It has not, so what's the stack from them? It's actually looking pretty standard. 3 towards middle, 2 towards B, so nothing too flashy being brought to the table here. 5-7 just for Flusher. USP for JW.
A USP on the T.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Oh yeah. He always finds a way to get the extra star points. But against a full eco, this is JW, of course, playing the economical game. And he's going to be getting all of the fights he was hoping for. It's a USP duel now towards Arch as they get drawn into the Crims crush. Quick double from him, and he's worked out the last 2 locations. It will be Device finding a bit of respite and consolation frag. And a second now, as that's going to be 2 MAC-10s for them to be able to pick up. Or perhaps just the 1. But Crims, he had the reload, and that is not the end. What was that shot from Zipex? 1 bullet. Unbelievable scenes.
They've got a lot out of this full eco, haven't they? Remember, $0 has got them quite a lot here.
It could even be, a 1v1. JW was down to 3 after his battle.
Yeah, I think Zipex knows he's probably pushed his luck as far as it can possibly go so far. But he's had one hell of a feast for not going to spend any money whatsoever. It's going to be a smoke, flashbang picked up as well. AK-47 in hand. Sure, Fnatic will find double digits here, but it's a hollow victory at best, knowing you're up against USPs, and it's come down to a 2 versus 1. Remember, JW had a USP himself, and Flush only had a 5-7, so it's not that they gave away a massive amount, but still, not the most ideal situation considering what they're up against. Zipx to save. Things guaranteed here. Bronan just investigating this side, making sure there's no tomfoolery. And Zipx survives, so he can drop the AWP device, no problem now. That should be the go-to call. You want to keep device's money as strong as possible. How does Zipx manage to win these duels?
I want to see the second shot if we can. Yeah, let's see this shot into device, because I think he deserves it. Yeah, he deserves the AK after that one. Oh, I mean, that's a pixel. That's pure reactions. And that was quick. So 10-8 then, as Fnatic convert their pistol win fully. And we'll maintain the lead.
There's the AWP. And Device, you know what? He's an honourable man. He bought his own AWP. He's like, you know what, kid? You keep that cash. You earned it.
And that AK, I mean, let's see what Zipx can bring to the table with that powerful weapon. Flame. Not too much damage dealt, and I spoke too soon. Golden, he gobbles an 8 or 3. He's down to 49, and it's an AWP bullet down towards Bronan in the mid-fight early. So with that first blood, still Astralis will be ready and willing to contest for this banana control, but not too aggressive. I always feel like they're like musketeers when they do this hold. They do one crouches, one stands. It's very retro, you know, like crouching to reload the musket, the guy behind you fires, and look at it working out.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That is the problem. You don't have to move your crosshair too far for the second. And so it's Crimson Flusher working together now to get that bomb down. They are low though. Looks like Flusher's managed to find himself an AWP. Suddenly becomes a whole lot more deadly. And now with Crim's gone, he had to get the info somehow. Try and make it possible, but Flusher, perhaps he has a chance now by getting that frag on towards CT. Gobbles up a flash and so has to hide. But Flusher's given it his best shot. Somehow, I feel the same. Crossing and another frag. Flusher, no HP. He will be caught out by Dupree. And the defuse, 10 seconds, but he's got plenty of time. And so it will be an Astralis 9.
It was close, though.
Yeah,
Flusher made that uncomfortable, to say the least. The fact it comes down to 1 versus 1 there, money still is going to be problematic going forward. I guess Zipx had residual cash, considering he saved the AK before, so they should be okay, especially with the AWP recovered as well. Here was the double kill, though, from Zipx. Did his line out for him, but they get a double kill in response as well. But still, Flusher, he wasn't ever going to win that round at 12 HP, but the fact he gets a couple of frags there just makes things very uncomfortable. Even like 1 more second on that could have been enough for the actual 10-second defuse not to come through.
He was almost just counting on, like he hid in that corner just counting on them outplaying themselves, right? Yeah. He knew the clock was on his side, wasn't going to get the frag with 10 HP, and so just kind of accepted his fate.
Well then, money relatively low on the Fnatic side. Deagle for JW. No utility at all for Crims, and a missed shot from Device. The pallet boost doesn't work out for him. They'll fall back. And that might be the cue for them to go fast in towards B, knowing the 2 players at least committed towards the top of middle there. They are going to try and run up. That was Golden, just trying to take advantage of that situation, knowing there's no AWP at least at the top of the corner.
Right.
Get up, see what can be done, but taken down, flashed off, smoke there as well, and Glaive just playing a smart game here. Just wants to hold them off. Doesn't necessarily want to challenge this one. Zipx with the full spray, a lot of damage inflicted. The nade might do it if he can get his trigonometry correct. Not quite.
Would be the first time if his trigonometry came in handy.
Yes, indeed. I had that conversation with someone the other day. I was just like, when have you ever used Pythagoras' theorem in your entire life? We spent like a whole year learning that shit. And what have I got to show for it?
What have you got to show for it?
Could have learned how to do a mortgage, pay a bill, but that's what we did instead.
Yeah, that really is something I want to get involved and discuss. It. Love the angle though from Zipx. You can see just how beautifully the head lines up and presents itself. So now just then Brolan. Admittedly, there is some time, but I'm not sure how much time he's got left in this world. Is close quarters. There is 1 player to find close on his left, 1 on his right, 1 from behind. It's all rather brutal. The Hurt Locker, he will just get out with 1. But Astralis have fought straight back from Fnatic's second half start. Keeps us level. So 10-10, second map. And if we need it, and now I will, this is the perfect time to remind everyone at home, Vertigo.
That's
is
a good point, actually. In my mind, it's
kill.
like it's probably going to be Mirage or something like that. Something dull. Actually, Vertigo, I'm kind of down.
I would totally kill for a Virgo.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty sick. Like we saw Astralis play that in the grand final of Beijing a couple of weeks ago against what they call now 100 Thieves, and that was actually a really entertaining game. It's not the best version of Vertigo, I'll say that much. I'm still a fan of the map, though. I think it's so different and unique. And the fact it's evolving, and you have no idea the homework these teams have put into it. I thought Astralis were really strong on it last time we saw it, but it was a 16-14 game.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't, to my knowledge, think we've seen Fnatic play Virgo. It's usually their Instaban, right?
That's why it's a cool thing for them, because obviously they've been doing work on it.
Yeah,
and it does go to a third map. They've actually got the advantage there because they'll have a couple of demos. Not all the demos you'd like. It's not really played that much, but they'll know what Astralis' basic game plan is, and Astralis will have no clue. I'm just talking over this round because it is the full eco, and I think what we're talking about is a little bit more interesting right now than Glock's getting absolutely mauled by an MP9. So the point still stands. It's a very new map in this iteration. Like we haven't seen it be played out at all on LAN, and the fact Fnatic, there's no intel about them as that as well.
Ban it, and suddenly they've taken it as
I don't know. I'm just all I can do is speculate.
I'm with you, and that's what the desk were talking about as well. You know, the fact that it is completely unknown. You know,
that's why I feel like if you're going to be Astralis, say why not try and challenge yourself as you have been working, you're comfortable in your own game plan.
Yeah.
Give it a go. They might just be so ruffled by the idea they have no idea what you're going to be bringing to the table. It could be enough.
But that, like, it's you going into a veto against Astralis, and you come out with Nuke, that they held their 32-0 record, Inferno, that they held their 18-0 record, and Vertigo, where they're currently 100% win rate in the last 3 months, 7 games played. That's a scary set of maps, but is what Fnatic felt they had the best shot at, and there's, of course, a lot of logic behind that. Let's see how this round plays out now that we've got that Glock eco out of the way. It's time for the fragging to commence once again. Nade exchange, Device this time taking his AWP over towards the B side, but with that smoke deployed, oh, he couldn't escape it. Flusher. Molotov down early, and looking to extend their lead, or rather equalize. It was Golden swinging out on Arch. Nice work. Magisk, however, towards Pit. He's fully flashed and caught on transition now. Keeping things level, but they have the sight. This is much more progress than we've seen from Fnatic this early in the round. Already, we're into a 3v3 retake.
We absolutely are. Looked like Fnatic were out of the round, but a couple of kills going through quickly. The bomb's now planted towards the A side of the map, and Device with the AWP is going to have a rough time trying to get back into this one. He's currently held towards Arch with Glaive. He'll find the AK-47. I don't think they're going for it, Alex. They're just going to let this one slip by the wayside, considering their money's not amazing. It's not a massive round. It's not a swing round in terms of the overall game. So, yeah, just hold on to what you've got. Salvage the weapons. Got a Krieg, an AK, the AWP. That's great. And you know they've already battened down the hatches towards the A side of the map. Try and lock them in. Look some exit frags, sure. Golden will get this kill on the AWP. That's a shame. Device probably wanted to be out of there a little bit sooner. Gives up the all-important sniper, so this isn't quite as fruitful as you'd like. Glaive did spot one. Specs, oh dear.
Oh, that's even more painful.
Just as he finds the AWP again.
Yeah, so 2 will go down in the end, and that AWP will not be preserved by the CT side. There is, of course, funds in order to reacquire it, but that's just going to be chipping away at the great Astralis bank. 11-11, why don't you make a wish? Close your eyes. It won't come true, but you can if you want.
Always nice to have an idea of what your wish is, at least.
Yeah, precisely. If anything, it's just a question, you know? Yeah. What is it you want? What are you desiring right now?
Yeah, I ask myself that every day, and I'm just like, you know what? Kind of killing it. Killing it. Every department, don't worry about it. You don't need any wishes.
Oh, I like the flash. I like the idea. However, Burns alive afterwards. And so, we'll be 4-4. Don't know how Device lost his health, but that is a problem, perhaps. Come back to haunt him towards the arch side.
This is the point of the round now where Fnatic have to look at their options, analyze what they've seen so far. Where did they take down a pick? That was Magis. He normally plays towards the pit, right? But he was a banana previous round. So what's happening now? Where are they going to be? Where will they be weak? Zipex, he's alone. He'll be holding towards CT spawn for now, just trying to suggest his presence on that side of the map. Drops his incendiary, trying to funnel them out.
Yeah, but by dropping that smoke on the incendiary, it did manage to pull a CT further towards the B rotate. Zipex, however, calling a bit of a false truth. Gets the rotate back in just in the nick of time now for what will be a Fnatic finish here on A. Glaive Gonna have a duel with Golden. He has the health advantage by a significant margin. It's just a question of time. The jiggle's good, and unfortunately, not going to work out well for the Swedes. And just like that, a frag from either side of the site. 2 for Device in the round with that AWP, and it's going to be the 12th now for Astralis. So they take the lead. It's been a while since the Astralis actually managed to break the lead. Ever since that half, of course, we saw Fnatic slowly have that taken away from them.
This is great stuff. Device ready and waiting. I'm not sure why they didn't swing on that together. They had 30 seconds. It's not like they were pushed for time, I suppose, but trying to get away towards middle. But it was just an absolute fortress from the CTs. It's Astralis taking the lead 12-11, and it's a pretty much eco round for Fnatic here. So once they've ascertained that information, just need to fall back. No one needs to be too aggressive here. We've seen Fnatic and how deadly they can be with these Desert Eagles, and this might be an example of it right now. Device challenging again. You know they've got pistols. Just chill. We've got this. Falling back. We'll see damage inflicted towards JW. That's just him down to 38.
There is a great deal of banana control at the moment for Astralis. You can see Glaive all the way pushed up, and Zipex is just going to be jumping for info, has some utility on his person. He'll be throwing out a deep smoke to slow him down as soon as his teammate asks for it. Some bullets, and now the smoke can arrive. Glaive likely going to be able to bail out of this one. Unfortunately for him, oh wait, pre-firing. Zipex is there as well. Not going to let them get to him. Super, he's probably going to have JW on his plate in a matter of seconds. Still just holding the line though. And a perfect shot. That will put a rifle in his hands, but the rest, unfortunately, is all said and done. The bombed banana, and they've come to find him. Come to hunt him down. Great assist for Flusher there. Well, didn't quite catch how that one went down, but now 3 away from this being the 2-0 Astralis were hoping for.
Yeah, it's looking that way, but Fnatic do have a full buy getting into this next round. 13-11, it's our final best of 3 of the day. This will decide who will make their way straight to the playoffs and have a lovely day off tomorrow to see the sights and sun of lovely Texas here. Not much of that going on right now, I'm afraid. It's actually colder than anywhere I've been in the last few months somehow.
I don't know how it's happened. I mean, I just saw Texas, I just packed my shorts. Just
yeah,
assumed.
I've got the same suitcase I had in Orlando, so I'm done for. But, you know, it's fine. We'll make it work.
Henry, I've seen you wearing black jeans in the summer, so...
To be fair, I've actually got a jacket with me this time. I did lose a jacket in my last excursion.
Okay. You are prone to losing jackets.
I lost all sorts of things last week. Most of my possessions have been left in Florida, to be honest with you, but I'm here. I'm present, I've got a passport.
You've got the brain, the passport, and clothes. That's all that matters. Well, maybe the brain was left in Orlando.
Here we go, then the execution of full commitment. It's a decent one as well. They have managed to break through. Device will get one, but they've got no one else in the A site, I believe, so that's an open plan. This might be another safe situation for Astralis. They are prone to do so. Glaive is there towards quad. He'll make his way towards the apartments here. Flusher patrolling second middle. Flush's position should secure the round regardless. He can go behind Glaive once he commits, but will he have the presence of mind to know he's coming in quickly?
I mean, he can change everything here. Does completely catch Crimson unawares. Golden makes his presence known. Rolling low. Unfortunately, Glaive, no accuracy in the air. That might be enough for them to call the save there.
I think it is.
Considering it, but what a push from Fnatic. An Apps burst. You only get away with 1 or 2 of those a game.
Yeah, exactly. It's normally just one flashbang. You're hoping that you can trade out at least 1 kill, but they gave nothing away at that point. Device, sure, he got one towards middle, but overall, perfect round for Fnatic, but May just going to prime spot just to lock them in here. He's going to get himself a couple of kills there towards the end. There will be 2 surviving on the Astralis side. Their money should be okay considering they managed to string together 5 rounds out of the last 6. But that one goes against them. Orb saved. Same story for the M4. Fnatic, quite an expensive round, but they win it. 13-12, still anyone's game here. But they managed to win, I think, both pistols now. Yeah, they did. They were 4-0 up before, right? And then they managed to get the second half pistol as well. So they've had both pistols and full conversions on Inferno. Still treading around, but
that's crazy.
See whether they can pull it back.
I love this aggression, just as they actually consider a second mid as well. JW, however, cognizant of it, deals with it. Glaive's gone. His teammate down to half as well. So this is the dream start for Fnatic on this crucial round of play. Zipex wants to try and level the odds with an aggressive push down banana, but thinks better of it. And so he'll just be backing away. All good in the hood for now.
Posturing again. Opening pick found, just waiting for the reactive play of the CTs, and here it comes. They are hoping they're going to kill out of that, but unfortunately it's giving away information. There's at least 2 players towards B, one that threw the flash and one that checked the corner, so they might as well fully commit towards A at this point. They've already found a kill on this side of the map. dupreeh away in the pit. They've got Device on the site. Mages rotating in. Jumping over the arch, and this is looking very good for Fnatic, but time is of the essence. Need to be careful they don't get caught out here.
And that smoke could fade, and that's what I'm worried about. As they turn to face the site, Magisk will have a line of sight. Device playing this close corner. He actually plucks out so fast to see the JW jump. Now Golden gets the first frag, and a second crucial on to Crims. By shutting down dupreeh and Pit, they've got a way in. Magisk, however, keeping this competitive. In pursuit of 13 now, Fnatic just 1 frag away from it. Zipnix, he's so late to the party, he's just going to have to turn tail, head towards B. And Fnatic keep Astralis honest. We stay level pegging all the way to what seems to be to the end.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Zipex with 17 kills to his name, but not a whole lot of cash. 2,600 in reserve. He'll have to hold on to this M4 for them to even stand a chance of buying in the next round. Lost bonus currently sits at the very bottom of $1,400. They'll get $1,900 on top of what they have right now. Pretty much means an eco, Alex. So probably a partial buy at the top end. Zipex could drop a couple of deagles, I suppose, but no need to panic just yet. I don't think they'll have to fully invest. Got 3,500 there. On towards dupreeh. So I feel like just CZ, some deagles to go with the M4, that's enough.
So if anyone was wondering, just because I was, Golden had 30 health, and the bomb was planted in the far corner.
Exactly,
and he died. He took 16 damage. There you go.
If you the further the bomb is away, especially on Inferno, it does less damage. If you plant in the default position, you take quite a considerable amount towards the pit still. So Zipex saves the M4. They do purchase up those deagles and 5.7s. dupreeh using that instead of the CZ. If you're not aware, the 5.7 replaces the same slot as the CZ. You can't have them both equipped. CZ's a very difficult gun to use. Some people say like it's overpowered sometimes, but like it's incredibly difficult to master.
I find it really interesting when you have a Dedi AWP, how they can always have the M4A1, so that if there is a map that or a situation that asks for it, you can have the M4A1 on your AWP to
Cirque
drop.
does that for EG, you might notice. That's a prime example. He doesn't use the M4 too often, but when his teammates need drop, he can drop a silence M4. If it's situational, your map like Train, for example, you want to bring that out, there's an option for you. I don't know why they're like separate slots. I feel like it'd be fine to have everything open. But
it wouldn't be a problem, would it?
No.
Ooh, with a nade in his hands, Brolin's been caught. 3 body shots from the Desert Eagle, riddled with 50 cal. And now perhaps Astralis can make quite the round out of this, just with deagles and Kevlar.
Well, with the M4 there as well, there's certainly a chance, and that's a bit of a blunder. As the first player makes his way through, they know exactly where he is towards first oranges. They'll bring a couple of frags back, and presumably the round as well, because that's most of the damage dealt with. Back towards A.
Yeah, that's because of dupreeh and... Who is this he's dueling with? Oh, no. Oh, JW, he made the call saying come to A, but he wasn't ready for that, and now they're still committing. They're going to have to. Knives out. And gun on.
Oh, the incendiary as well, the Molotov, I think it was. Putting that down and dupreeh in position now with Mages baiting him a little bit. This is wonderful. They're not going to be aware of the play on the side. They're assuming the site's open at this stage, but Golden one step ahead of it all, and it looked like it was going to be a disastrous finish to the round, but they've managed to stick the landing here. Bomb we planted, no problem, and Glaive with deagle, no armor. He knows he hasn't got a chance here. He's just going to see whether he can salvage a weapon as he looks for that. Gets Krieg, but I think he'll just be saving it at this point.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like proper comedy timing of him just continuing to walk towards spawn, you know, just picks up the weapon and just into the sunset. Yeah, exactly. Well, so, 14.
That was looking so good for Astralis. That kill on JW, you thought, okay, the fact they've got to go back towards A now, there's surely no chance, especially with Mages towards Library as well. Baiting in the player with the rifle on the site, you'd think that's done, but Golden, the presence of mind to check all the close range positions, and that's the most important kill of them all. He will take the lead back for Fnatic here. It's going to be 14 to 13. As we mentioned, if the bomb planted at the back, just like that, you take less damage, so you can get away with standing in the corner. Had they been in the default position there in terms of the plant, that would have taken them down. So that was what we were talking about earlier, if you were a little bit confused. Either way, it's going to be Fnatic now in the lead. But that was just an eco, essentially, from Astralis. They saved 1 rifle, they had a few upgraded pistols, and the Danes will be calling a tactical timeout at this stage. They've got to save Krieg, which will be very beneficial on the CT side, but they do not want to let this go to that point, that's for sure. They've already been in overtime today against Sharks. They won that one, to be fair. They normally do win. If you get into overtime, that's usually when they reset and they just come out 4-0 you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Fnatic, they could actually close this in regulation.
Yeah, and they are so very comfortable and at home here on Inferno. If ever there was a map for them to do it, and then I remind you, Vertigo is the third. I have no idea what to expect from that. Fnatic have got 0 Vertigo on record, to my understanding. So that would be a crazy third map. I'm crossing some of my fingers and toes that we get to watch that one. But let's see. Astralis control that. And so do Fnatic. Warp on JW for some T-side AWPing action. Wonder what he's going to be concocting for us at the start of the round. He's going to be holding the mid-peak. I think going to be coming out of that one early. And speaking of early, I was going to say deep, that's not, quite a short, that's how words work. A short smoke from the CTs early towards that half wall.
Big round here. Fnatic looking to take us to a third. Securing map point would be fantastic. The money just wouldn't be there for the Danes as we'll smoke towards half wall here. Glaive in position. He's going to confirm that position is indeed clear, but Molotov'd off. Will that persuade Zipex to drop the smoke now? It doesn't look like it.
Did you see what he lined that up with? It was a real funky lineup. Some floor tiles, and there is the half wall smoke. Going to be working out perfectly to keep the top of Banana under their control without necessarily having to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to. It's such a strong smoke there because even if 1T wants to hang out by barrels, you're just going to take them down together. You're just going to swing out either with a flashbang, confirm that's clear. If they're behind half wall, that's fine. That's not like they can really do much with that one. Essentially, you're funneling them back towards A. So then, less than 50 seconds here, and Device is surely done for. They spotted him, but he does get the incendiary down in time. It sets up dupreeh for a kill, maybe a couple here. Mages will chime in as well. dupreeh holding towards the pit at this time as kill after kill. Astralis, though, they're very comfortable here. 35 seconds remaining. Crims will pull back one, but the bomb's down towards apartments. So is JW, though. AWP in hand, looking for an opportunity. Gonna find it. What? He doesn't normally miss those sort of shots, but he makes up for it on the re-peak.
dupreeh, however, will silence him. That's a gorgeous shot. The hardest of the bunch. Glaive's gone. Knows his possibility for one on site, but Zipex is in a perfect angle. Just slides on in to his DMs and says, I got around for you. 14-14 now, as they are getting all so close all the time, keeping themselves level pegging. Let's see that again. As you see, it was him and Magis just working in tandem nicely. Deal with that apartments and short take.
14-14. In terms of the finances as well, I think it's a tactical timeout for Fnatic. They are running a little bit thin here, Alex. They've got 2K on Brolan and Flusher. Same story for Golden. Good news is that we have got a ton of money for Crims. He's got 6,000, JW of 5K. So now, are you going for the full investment here and going for it in regulation? Are you going to allow them
like
to
playing
get
for OT though? It never feels good.
Exactly. I feel like I just saw a deagle purchase there, so it looks like, sure, I should rephrase it. You're not allowing them to get to it, you're giving them a very good chance of finding series points if you do not fully invest here. But they've got money to drop deagles and get some utility with it. But at this stage, you're almost admitting that you're giving up to overtime.
Let's see. So what can they do with 2 Kevlar and some of those pistols and utility on the big spenders? Let's see. It's not going to be an easy task, and any early damage wants to be avoided. Golden's just going to dart back to spawn as the flames did arrive. And look at dupreeh's positioning. He's already gone straight down, gun on, banana control gathered, and no deep smoke, which does enable him to go on a bit of a inquisitive mission if he's feeling himself. If not, he'll just tuck in, and we've seen them set themselves up like this many times. So, jumping for info, Glaive gets it, and that will be a deep nade towards the T-ramp. Flush out. Golden, not going to be too happy with that.
And this is so good from Glaive as well. He's like playing so tentatively. Like, I'm just looking for an angle. I'm just looking to get some intel and drop a smoke in your ass. That's all he's looking to do. But he's got dupreeh down there at the bottom. You can see him just play a real cagey CS. Dropping this smoke to say, I'm just here alone, boys. Don't worry about that. But either way, the smoke now will buy them some time. Under a minute mark as well, so the CTs are very happy with that. Glaive might want to keep firing off some shots as well, just to keep that presence there, and exactly that. Just keep firing, just making sure, like, it's just me here, boy. I know you've just got pistols. I'm happy to hold this alone. And they won't even check it, but they do get the trade of the CZ. Now Glaive's in trouble. Yeah,
he has to get 1 and 4 back, and well, Dream has become a reality, albeit just a little slow to get himself tucked in, but he doesn't look like he's going to be swung on just yet. Smoke arrives on CT, and Zipex does not respect it. He's just going to push through, and a quick double to seal the 15th, or has he? Flusher now with a 1 versus 2 situation and time to plant.
He wins these, but not through the smoke, apparently. That's dirty.
What?
It looked like he had like 5
Completely
seconds there to reposition. They were getting ready for their assault together. Okay, this kill for the smoke, pretty anticlimactic, but there we go.
Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. He went for that plant. Magisk just puts in some speculative shots. It works out more than he could possibly have imagined. You can see how quick Frolan was to react off that, and you can see that, I mean, Fnatic, that came down to a really winnable situation on their what's the word, conservative buy.
Yeah, if that. Deagles, CZs, a bit of utility. More than it was
more
worth.
More of an eco than anything else, I guess.
Yeah,
You get just a bit of Kevlar.
They got the plan, and they've got a full buy here for a round that is must win now. They are looking for overtime. Problem is they would remain on the T side, but still that's fine. At this stage, just want to win this round. Not really thinking about the gravitas of overtime at this point. Device waiting towards Boiler. Flames down, but smoke to extinguish it. And that's going to enable him to get a couple of kills here. 2.5. Brodan down to just 39 here. What a great shift Device has put on here in Inferno.
Yeah, incredible. 22 frags as the last two come in. The cherry on the top for them. As now they are 3 frags away from the semi-finals here of the 8th season of ECS. Certainly a mammoth task for the 3 remaining.
He's been spotted, JW. I'm not sure if he's aware of it. That reaction, though, suggests he has been sniffed out. His Device has gone down from the boiler room, but he took 2 with him. Brodan, 39 points of power, waits towards the apartments right now, running out of time at this point. They've got 1 smoke, a couple of mollies and a flash, hoping for CT mistakes here. They'll smoke the site, they'll try and focus towards that pit.
Another Molotov and a peek. Glaive, he's doing absolutely all he has to. This time, however, a flurry for Zipex. It's now onto 1 man, Flusher. He had a good shot at it before. This one, however, looks almost impossible. It's confirmed. 16-14, no overtime, no need. Astralis will be off to the semi-finals.
And that's them losing both pistols as well, Alex, which were converted as well. It was 0-4 to kick things off, and then 3-0 in the second half as well. And that's after 8 mauling on Nuke. After that one, they didn't lose a single. They didn't win a single pistol for anything.
Yeah.
If they win a couple of pistols here, they'll have a real chance of actually taking Astralis down. They did have a chance. They had the lead for the majority of the game, but as I always say, you can get Astralis down, but to get them out, win a map off them is a very difficult, tall order. And the fact that Sharks got so close in overtime earlier, the fact Fnatic got the 16-14 is just testament to that. They're always so good at closing games out and doing everything they have to make sure they have money. They're always saving their weapons and making sure they have every dollar, looking at the bigger picture overall, right?
Yeah, and we saw, I mean, when these games get so close, it is those extra rounds, that 1 extra round where you actually had the buy. Yeah. It all adds up. I mean, they were calling some 4-man saves. It is a jam, you see? I just need like some shakers or something. Shakers? They've got a name.
Maracas?
No. There's the clappy one.
Okay, wow.
Well, clapping for Astralis, of course, is what we are doing. So congratulations to the Danes. They are alongside Liquid, who are getting that day off.
That's a nice place to be. Liquid and Astralis already in the playoffs, as the teams that probably should be there as well, to be honest. So we've got some great Counter-Strike coming forward, but that is it for today, at least. But still, we're just getting warmed up here in Arlington, right?
Yeah, I mean, it feels crazy that of the quality of the games we're seeing on day 1, we had Liquid versus EG, we got to see Astralis, of course, just now versus Fnatic, and we're going to be seeing a whole lot more action tomorrow. Yeah, stacked.
It's a really cool one. I'm really enjoying myself so far. The teams that should have won today did. It was 2-0 all the way.
But Sharks made it clear that their best of 3 tomorrow is going to be one that's worth watching. You know, like that was enough. You play Astralis on Nuke and you take it to 30 rounds, people are paying attention.
Well, I hope you had as much fun as we did today watching these games. It's been a great day of Counter-Strike, and for now, we'll leave you with an interview down with Sue, and she's with Astralis.
Thank you very much for that, Henry. As Dupree ties his shoelaces after a very convincing 2-0. Congratulations once again, Peter, on making it to the semis. With this advancement, Astralis secures the 5th top 4 finish since the major has concluded, which is honestly phenomenal consistency. I believe that makes you guys the most consistent team in the top 4. So how significant is that for you and the boys?
Well, obviously we're very happy. I mean, we always go out into the tournaments thinking we can go this far, and obviously the goal is always to win. So, I mean, this is the first step, and so far it's working out pretty well. We haven't lost the map yet, and even though we played really close with Shark, it was good to feel that we actually got into our zone when we played against Fnatic.
For sure, it was a rematch against Fnatic, who you most recently played at Malma. Back then, they took you guys down 2-0, which I think surprised a lot of people. And this time around, it was a 2-0 for you guys, but by no means were they an easy opponent, as we saw in Inferno.
I mean, they are a team that has really started to play really well, so they are definitely a top 3 team in the world, I'd say. So, I mean, it's always really tough to play against them because they have so many varieties of strategies to run. Like, they can play really fast and they can play really slow, and especially in Inferno, they are super good at like just working around Arch when you lose the advantage, and we just kind of felt that in the end, like the low end of the Inferno, I guess. They really started to abuse that, so that was really well played by them. But I mean, we won in the end, and that's what I'm counting for.
100%. And I know you briefly mentioned the Sharks game yourself. What was the mentality of the team like after that? Because on the one hand, you could say it's a relief because you did pull out the win at the very end when it matters most, but it was a lot harder than I think a lot of people expected.
I think the main issue in the Sharks game was that we were kind of too eager to win. I think we took too many duels. Like, I wouldn't say we underestimated them, but we just started to play a little bit too careless, and it just felt like everyone wanted to win the game like really fast, and everyone started taking stupid duels when we had the advantage, and they just played really well. I mean, in hindsight, I think they should probably have won the game. So I can only say we got a little lucky maybe, but like nothing really worked for us. Like, communication was really off, and individual plays was really off, and yeah, I don't know. That's just what happens. Like, the first game of tournaments can always be really random, but we won, so I'm happy. And now we won against Fnatic, so now we're in the semis, and yeah, I can't really complain.
Exactly, and now with that victory, you get a day off to practice and work on whatever you need to do. Last question, after winning IM Beijing, you guys have had some time off. You know, what was that time like for you? Because I know in the past, one of the things you struggled with was a very busy schedule, but this time around, you've had that time to take some rest at home and practice and be comfortable.
Obviously, it's been an issue with the team, like in terms of jet lag traveling east. That's been something we've been discussing, and a lot of people have known about. But it worked out really well, and it was really great to feel that we actually could go east and still perform. So, and I think we played like probably the best tournament we played since, I don't know, since London Major back last year. So it was really good. I mean, the time in between tournaments, obviously you want to go home and take some time off, like being with your family and kind of recharge your batteries. But at this time, apart from doing that, we also started to work on all the things that we know is an issue. So even though we had a really good tournament in Beijing, we really wanted to just go home and actually start developing and working on the things that we knew we didn't do so well. So, I mean, Beijing was a little bit of a fairy tale. Everything we just did just worked out really well. So we had to go back and actually realize what was going wrong in tournaments like in New York and in Masters and Malmo. So it was looking back and then just fixing the mistakes.
Well, I think we saw hints of that certainly today. For now, congratulations once again. We will see you in 2 days. And guys, we're going to head back to the desk to wrap up day number 1 here at the Esports Championship Series.
Thank you so much for that one. So it's always great to get to hear from the players, especially Dupree, as he had such a great impact in that entire series.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially since they were playing, you know, the best of 1 game against Shark, and he didn't really look like usual Dupree. So like seeing this best of 3, especially on Inferno, like I'm really like excited to see him performing well. But you know, since I'm still like a Swede, I'm a little bit pissed that he didn't get the Inferno there, you know. But at the same time, you know, the top 1 team has qualified for playoffs directly, so it's going to be a good playoffs event.